Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related. Please, people. And of course, with Manchester United, there's a lot to discuss. As always, there's always a lot going on with Manchester United, whether we win, whether we lose, whether we draw, whether we're playing today, whether we're playing tomorrow, whether we're playing on the weekend, whether it's the Premier League, whether it's the Champions League, whether it's the Europa League, whether it's the FA Cup, whether it's the Carabao Cup, whether it's a preseason game. Like typical Manchester United, always something going on. It is the Tuesday edition of the show, so I'm joined by Mr. Ivorian Spice at Red United TV in the building. So before we even get to all the football and stuff, Ivorian, what are you telling me? You good?
I'm 100% good, man. It's a nice weather in London. The sun is shining. I got to enjoy a decent weekend, including watching WrestleMania. So you can't be upset with that. My guy Roman Reigns is still undisputed champ. So you get me? At least that's the positive thing out of my weekend. But what we're here to talk about, man. Big up to everyone that's in the chat as well, man. Flawless, how are you doing today?
I'm blessed, man. As always good. Always look forward to the show, ManDem United, because it's always good talking about Manchester United. For the most part of this season, it's normally good. There's been the occasional defeat that is really bad, but other than that, it's been extremely good talking about United. So yeah, man, I'm all blessed. And like you said, large up to everyone in the chat. We will run through the comments. Big up to everyone saying big up, but make sure you hit the like button, people. First and foremost, whether you're watching live right now or watching this back after the live, salute to you. But hit the like button as soon as you land. Make sure you share this across all of the socials as well. Do that. Share it across all of the socials. And that's Be Flawless on Twitter and Instagram. Sarcasm City TV on Twitter and Instagram. You can retweet and like from the Twitter. You can share from the Instagram as well. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. It is rolled to 7K, people. We recently hit 6K, so we're trying to get to 7K expeditiously. Much appreciated, Ivorian. Much appreciated. So as always, man, salute to everybody who is supporting heavily. And what I'm going to do before we get Ivorian's thoughts on the Newcastle game, you can see the title of this episode, people. Sancho, De Gea, Bruno Fernandes, are they good enough? The reason why I put these three players in the title because they're the three players that have been the most talked about since the Newcastle game. So what I'm going to do for you lot, first time I think I've ever done it on this show, or actually probably second or third time, I'm going to run a poll. And me and Ivorian will discuss whichever player first you lot decide. So whoever you lot want to hear us talk about first, out of Jaden Sancho, David De Gea, and Bruno Fernandes, vote on the poll. So while I'm going to set up the poll, Ivorian will talk and give his thoughts on the Newcastle defeat. So I'm going to run that poll now. But yeah, Ivorian, thoughts on the Newcastle game?
Do you know what's so flawless? It's like what I've realized about Manchester United, especially after international break. We don't get good results after an international break. The last one we got packed 7-0. The one before that, I think, was it City as well? We got packed there. And I think the second time, I think after international, we played City and we ended up winning. But a lot of results after international break hasn't been good, especially when Manchester United start catching momentum and then go into an international break and everything just falls down the park for the next game. And a lot of players had some resting time as well, especially Marcus Rashford. But let's get to that game because honestly speaking, to watch that first 45 minutes where Manchester United themselves was so poor, giving away possession easily, the attack wasn't good enough as well, being run through midfield, it says a lot. And yes, on that day, I generally realized we are missing Casemiro heavily and Christian Eriksen as well, because the way Newcastle went through Manchester United's midfield was like a hot knife on butter, and it gave me the last season vibes of Oli being in charge, where everyone just had the fun with us through the midfield, basically just fingered us, bro.
Jesus
Christ! No, it's true.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened on Sunday, man. I'm already there, man. I'm going there, man. My body's already getting hot, man.
Scout Wild Boys, carry on. Before you continue, the poll's up, people, so let us know who you want us to discuss first. Jaden Sancho, David De Gea, or Bruno Fernandes. Carry on, Ivorian. Carry on.
And then, again, Newcastle having opportunities in the first half. David De Gea making some incredible saves and some important saves, but the saves as well wasn't enough, because in the second half, we probably all sat there at half time thinking, bro, we can end up losing. Like, Manchester United need to step it up. And no, they didn't step it up. Because why? The first goal came in, and that came from Luke Shaw's side. And you know what? Beautiful cross by the real Bruno Guimaraes, because I'm only acknowledging him as the real Bruno, not only Bruno. Beautiful cross there to hit St. Maximum in the head to head it down for Willock. And then from there, you just knew. I just knew Manchester United were going to lose this game. Because why? The substitution wasn't effective. And it was the first time I've seen in a long time where Ten Hag subs didn't work. The second goal coming in from Callum Wilson, another header. But let's talk about players, because can I talk about players, or can I talk about it after? Because there's
you can talk about players. Oh yeah, I know what you go get to.
Player that I need to highlight, you know. And again, Flawless, you know, I've backed him several times. I said, you know what? I believe my manager can improve him, his ability to make the right decisions and etc. And of course, his ball playing abilities. My manager can have an influence on that. He has slightly improved this season, but I'm not gonna lie. You know, guys, I actually wear glasses. I went to get my eyes checked. 2 years ago, I wasn't wearing glasses properly. That was all a stunt. Yeah, since I've had my eye checked, got my 20/20 vision. That Bruno Fernandes guy is a fraud. And I've had enough of this guy, you know. And I said it, and I released a video on it because it has to be said. Shout out to Flawless that said it all this time, you know. I saw it, but I was ignoring it, you know. I kept on seeing it, but I just ignored it. But Bruno Fernandes, I have to say again, Manchester United can't win any major honor trophies with Bruno Fernandes as their playmaker, as the main number 10. The reason why I say this, because as a playmaker, your job is to retain possession, you know, spread play, dictate tempo as well, not spamming the ball all over the place like some kind of internet account spamming us all the time. And this is not training. We're talking about the real game, not practice, the real game where you execute everything to a T. Bruno Fernandes is inconsistent. I said it before. This guy's a 1 minute man performer. Missy Elliott settings were 1 minute man. We are asking for 90 minutes performance from Bruno Fernandes, and we've never, ever got a good performance. The guy can't perform in big games. Yeah, I've had enough. Okay. Yeah, the fact that I've had enough. The reason why, because I saw Bruno Fernandes with a lazy back pass that ended up with us coming from being in an attacking position straight into a defensive situation. And luckily, we did not concede. He done that a couple of times. The lazy back pass straight away to the opposition's attack. And I've had enough of this. Like, this guy who can't dribble, he's not the best passer, you know, doesn't make the right decisions. He's unorthodox. He does whatever he wants. And it's the reason why Ten Hag puts him on the right wing sometimes and doesn't play him in the middle. It's because he's wasteful. He's wasting opportunities. Bruno Fernandes is not good. He's not good enough. Well, he's good enough for Manchester United to be a bench player, but he's not good enough to be our main guy. And I will pick Odegaard, Kevin De Bruyne over this guy, because this guy's fraud. He's a fraudulent playmaker. I don't give a shit about GAs. Flawless, I do not give a shit about the goals and assists, you know.
Talk about it.
I care more about what you do on the pitch. For those who only see Bruno Fernandes for his GAs, you're the type of guy that allows your woman to treat you anyhow, but as long as she pays for your bills and etc. and buys you the PlayStation 5, you're okay with being treated like shit when she's cheating on you, because that's how I feel about Bruno Fernandes. That's what he's doing to us. The GA means nothing to me. The GAs are the good stuff, the money and all that kind of stuff. You know, you're looking after, I'm making sure that I'm being eaten, but you're cheating on me at the same time. You treat me like shit. You go out and you come back the next day, and I'm wondering, where the fuck are you? Well, that's how it feels like with Bruno Fernandes. As for those who believe and say that, oh, Bruno's good because of his goals and assists, you make me sick, bro. Because you don't see the other things that we all see.
Bear me one sec.
Sorry. Yes, guys, you don't see what we all see. We see an inconsistent performer, an impotent man that cannot perform. I feel sorry for his wife. You know, in the bedroom, he definitely is not performing because he can't perform for us. He can't give us 90 minutes. For damn sure, he can't give his woman 90 minutes or 60 minutes in the bedroom. Because that is a 1 minute man. I've had enough of this, you know. This is not good enough for Manchester United.
He's done.
It's not good enough for Manchester United. I'm honestly speaking, we cannot prevail with that guy, that scrub in midfield. No, it's the truth, and I'm sweating as hell, bro. Now he's got my head up. I need water. No,
all right, before you
I've had
continue,
enough.
before you continue, we're gonna get back to it. You lot gotta continue to vote on the poll because it's currently 50-50. So David De Gea has 0%, Sancho has 50%, Bruno has 50%. There's been 27 votes. Continue to hit the votes. It's who do you want us to talk about first? Even though Ivorian has been speaking on Bruno, we will talk on it there. But if he wins, he's currently taking the lead. Make sure you bump up the likes. There's over 30 of you lot locked in the building. We're at 21 likes, people. Get us up to 30 likes, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're at 6,172. We're looking for 3 new subscribers, people. Get us to 6,175, and on top of that, make sure you subscribe to Ivorian's channel, which I'm about to add to the title at Red United TV. I'm legit gonna add that right now as we speak, people. As we speak, about to add it to the title right now. 1 second, bear with me. Literally going to add it to the title as we speak. We'll continue to vote on the poll. Like I said, an Ivorian's channel. The link is in the title. I'll run through some of the comments so, Ivorian can take a deep breath and drink some more water.
I need some water, bro.
Yeah. It's because I've been there, man. This is roles reversed. Because for those that don't know, I had a 7-8 minute rant about Bruno months back on this very show with Ivorian, and then he clipped it up. And someone asked a simple question, and my head just went. I just lost it. My head was gone. And the thing is, the person that asked the question asked a legitimate question. It wasn't aimed at them. It was just something that sparked it, and then that was it. Big up to Eddie every single time, says Ivorian, spitting the good word. Let the congregation say amen. I see you lot as well. We had to get straight into the show because there's a lot going on, but big up to Dennis the Great, who says big up Flawless in the chat. Big up Stephanie G. Ivorian's here as well. Like I said, sub to his channel. Big up Mark as well. Big up to United for Life, who says big up Flawless in the chat. I'm getting ready to break my fast in 2 minutes whilst listening to y'all. Big up to everyone who's breaking their fast. Big up to everyone who's fasting as well. Big up Marcel in the cut as well. Big up to, we're going to get to this from Kaneki as well when he says, welcome Sancho, Weghorst and Anthony to the Pogba role at Manchester United, where you get blamed for everything when you ain't the reason why the team is suffering. They will never blame Bruno for being crap. Interesting point. Big up Riddle Me This, who says, ahoy gents. Kaneki says we need to talk about the Portuguese James Milner. He's not even that. He's the Portuguese Mason Mount. That's what he is. It is. And to Don Potter, some people have already corrected you on this. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka was not available against Newcastle. That's why Dalot played. And he also said to play Sancho over Bruno. Obviously, we'll be discussing that when we discuss both of those two players as well. Just making sure I didn't miss anything as well. Just making sure. Don't worry, you lot are making great points. Continue to get your questions in. Keep them Manchester United related as well, please. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, man. Let's see, 35 vote. It's still close. So I'm going to let you lot continue to vote because it's now 8% David De Gea, 44% Jaden Sancho, 47% Bruno. Before we continue about the Bruno thing, because we are going to talk more in depth about Bruno, more about the game. Yeah, just in general. More thoughts about the loss to Newcastle.
But back to that game, because I lost my head with and as well. Back to the game against Newcastle, because Ten Hag as well. I don't know if I'm not going to say I can say Ten Hag needs to take blame for the team selection, but the performances from each individual as well was extremely poor. A lot of players didn't do well. The only thing I can say for this, the most positive thing I can say is that I saw a slight improvement in Sabitza's fitness and match fitness. And in terms of getting into the game, I was impressed with him, the way he was able to just turn players on the half turn and drive through in the midfield. Sabitza's showing a bit of improvement under Manchester United, and especially in the Premier League. But the fact that McTominay was playing that, I don't know why Ten Hag thought, let me play McTominay, because of course he done well against Spain and scored 4 goals over international duty. And then we had a debate of whether we should be playing Weghorst up front or McTominay up front. Now you saw that it was flying all over the place. Yeah, whether you guys want to agree to that, I don't agree to that. McTominay is a player that needs to be sold at the end of the season. And him as well, whenever he's in midfield, you know it. McShadow. That's what it is. Hiding behind people's shadows. Hey, he makes himself unavailable for a pass. And again, and it's not good enough for Manchester United as well. Dalot had a poor game as well. the only impressive thing was Varane and Martinez doing well. Luke Shaw, goals came from his side, wasn't the best. Rashford had an off game, and again, it just shows that if Rashford ain't scoring the goals, we're in deep trouble because Weghorst can't score a goal to save his life. Like it.
Talk about it.
It's a concern, and this is the reason. I understand the job he does for the team. I appreciate that. But again, we can clearly see this guy is a stopgap. Next season, he will be going. He's just not really good enough for Manchester United to have one goal out of, I believe, about 18 games so far. I think about more than 10 games, one goal.
Who are you talking about? McTominay here?
Weghorst.
Yeah, it's not 18, but yeah, he doesn't. He's not prolific.
Like that, but he's not prolific, and then there's the reason why he only scored 2 goals in the Premier League for Burnley for a whole entire season.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah. Come on, carry on.
And it's just not helping us. And as well, I'm there thinking to myself, Ten Hag, is it not a possibility for you to just play, even though I hate seeing Rashford back against the wall in the middle in front of 2 defenders, is it not worth seeing Sancho, Rashford and Anthony so we can get a full fluid attack of just straight counter attack? Because Weghorst does slow us down.
That's all well and good, but what's the midfield pivot you're putting behind that front 4?
Bloody hell, man. The midfield
exactly my point, fam.
It has to be.
Who are you putting? Who is feeding that front 4 of Sancho, Anthony,
because
Rashford, and who did you say? Sancho, Rashford, Anthony. Who was the other?
No, Sancho, Rashford, and Anthony. That's it.
That's the front 3. Sorry. Who are you playing in the 10? Bruno.
Who's available right now? Is it? Are we based on? Is it based on who's available right now?
I'm talking in particular right now about who's available. Yes, we're not talking long. We're not talking when everybody's available. We're talking right. We're not talking when everybody's fit. We're talking about right now.
I have to play the players that I don't like.
That's the one thing I don't criticize Ten Hag for against Newcastle. Why I'm not going to criticize him against Brentford and also against Everton. What midfield is he supposed to put together? I was saying this. I had Newcastle fans here yesterday. Salute to the Newcastle fans who were here yesterday. And a couple of them tried to blame Ten Hag. So I said, okay. And a couple of Manchester United fans tried to get onto Ten Hag. I was like, okay, what midfield would you have put out there? Every midfield possible is awful. Every single one. What is that man supposed to do? Let me know. What midfield 3 or 2, whether it's a 6 and 2 8s, whether it's 2 6s and a 10, whether it's a 6, an 8 and a 10, what midfield is these? I've seen people talking about, all right, Martinez in there may be an option, but then you lose what he gives you from a centre back, and then you're playing either Lindelof or Maguire, who we both know aren't good enough. People are saying, who else in midfield? Lindelof in midfield. Lindelof's not good enough. People are saying, oh, you should have played Fred. Yeah. We all know Fred's not good enough. Give me the options. People are like, what about Zidane Iqbal? So we're going to throw a youngster in there with McTominay or in there with Fred or in there with Bruno. Like, no, like you're supposed to, when you bring youngsters into the team, you don't throw them in the fire pit like that. You bring them into a settled team with quality, experienced players around them. That's something we don't have. So where are the options? What is Ten Hag? Someone tell me what Ten Hag is supposed to do in terms of the midfield.
Ten Hag doesn't have options. He has to play what he has available.
Yeah. And what we have available is absolutely crap in the midfield area currently. I miss my 2 Dons. I haven't missed 2 midfielders more than like I knew Casemiro and Eriksen were important, but geez, they are absolutely pivotal. And I'm the one who's been saying I will upgrade on Eriksen in the summer, which I do. But for everyone who was criticizing Eriksen, this is on you. I hope this burns you a lot more. Everyone who's talking about he shouldn't play against Arsenal because he's terrible in defensive transition, blah, blah, blah. I bet you wish we had him now. We had defensive players out there against Newcastle. How did that help? We had defensive players out there against Liverpool. How did that help? Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? And to young Abs, you can say Fred is not good enough, but he's miles clear of McToilet. I don't get a point like that when they're both not good enough. Is Fred better than McTominay? Yes. Is he good enough? No. So what are we talking about? I don't compare trash to average. Neither of them are good enough for Manchester United Football Club. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Eddie says it there. Midfield of McTominay, Sabitzer, and Bruno ain't good enough for Everton. Everton are fighting relegation and have a better midfield trio than us. Decore, Idrissa, and Onana is better than what we put out against Newcastle. That midfield trio is awful. It's one of the worst in the league. I don't get onto Sabitzer because that's not on him, and he's just. I'm talking specifically about McTominay and Bruno. Ask an Everton fan. I wish there was one in the chat. Would they swap that midfield three that we had against Newcastle for ours? And that's a team battling relegation. They literally drew and got out of the bottom three. What are we talking about? Why is our midfield three not clear of Everton's? No disrespect. Why is our midfield three not clear of Newcastle's? No disrespect. And this is the point I was making of Battle of the North, even though Sam tried to flip it when I was talking about Manchester United side to Newcastle side. When we go 11 for 11, why are we not clear? Why is there debates? Why is there, they're both average? When we comparing a Willock to a McTominay or a Pope to De Gea, we should be clear. We should be absolutely clear. You lot, wow, this votes is close. We're gonna have to keep it rolling because it's 47% to 45% now. Sancho's 47%, Bruno 45% as well. So what I'll do is I'll run through. After I've run through some of the questions I've started, then we will go to Sancho, De Gea, or Bruno. We're gonna discuss all three. It's just who we're gonna discuss first. That's all it is. So a Rohit says Ten Hag is kind of stressing me out because Pep got rid of many quality players as well during his first preseason summer as they didn't acclimatize to his style. Let's not do that because what Pep did in his first season, Pep had a first worst season at Manchester City than Ten Hag is now, and he had a much better side. He had, if I believe, Yaya Toure. He had Vincent Kompany. He had David Silva. He had Sergio Aguero. So let's not do that. He had his spine was four of the best players in the Premier League era. Kompany is one of the best centre-backs we've ever seen. Yaya Toure arguably had the best individual season from a midfielder we've ever seen. David Silva is arguably the best number 10 we've ever seen in the Premier League era. Aguero's arguably the best striker we've ever seen. So what are we talking about here? Like, let's not do this. This is what I'm talking about. Let's not go over the top. So I'm back. Let's not go over the top. My Wi-Fi been playing up. I need to sort out the router. But yeah. Like, let's not go over the top. Let's not do that, please. And on top of that, did he not finish fourth, Pep, in his first season and not win a trophy? We've already won a trophy. And we're on for two more.
Yeah.
Rohit goes on to say, also, Arnautovic, Veghorst, Rabiot, these type of players were linked with, just shows you the standards of the club. It shows where we're at. Because we're almost $1 billion in debt and we don't have money. You know what I'm saying? That Veghorst should never be the answer. Casemiro's and Ericsson's and Martinez and Malacias and Anthony. The window we just had, that should be the level. And even better so. I think so. That's just me, though. We're going to get on to Luke Shaw, Abs. Don't worry about that. We are going to get on to Luke Shaw. Don't worry about that. We will. With that, that's why I started that. We're gonna get onto that, guys. We all know McTominay is crap, but our fans always scapegoat and forget Bruno and Veghorst. The reason why I don't get onto Veghorst because he's a squad player being overplayed.
That's why I don't get. He's playing above his limit.
Yeah, we know he's not good enough. Average player plays average, and people act surprised. Hear what I'm saying, Ivorian?
I'm listening.
When we signed him, average player, everybody, he's playing average. Sometimes poor, sometimes above average, and people act surprised. Like, no, why are we I'm not looking at Veghorst. You know who I'm looking at? Bruno, because you're the captain. You better. You know who I'm looking at? Rashford. You know who I'm looking at? Anthony. You know who I'm looking at? Sancho. Everyone will tell you Veghorst is the worst attacker we have in the squad. So why am I focused on him? No, Rashford, you need to do more. He's had a very good season. Rashford's had an except. But I'm saying in general, like the past couple games, you need to do better. Bruno, not good enough. This is why I don't even criticize him too heavily anymore. Sancho, you need to do more. But we're gonna have the discussion on Sancho because it seems he's gonna win the poll. Same with Anthony. You need to do more. Go on, fam. Sorry.
Can I add something to that? Because people forget that since our last couple of performances recently with Weghorst, are we feeding him? Are we always feeding him? We don't look for him at all because all he's doing is doing the dark work. But we're not feeding him. We're not crossing the ball to him for him to get his head onto the end of a cross. We're not feeding him into his feet to run into pathway to score from one-on-one goals with the goalkeeper. Manchester United are not creating that much chances.
You're breaking up a little bit from. I don't know if it's on your end or mine. Let us know in the chat, people, if it's me or whether it's Ivorian. You were just sounding robotic. That's all.
Really?
Yeah, you're sounding robotic. I don't know. The chat will let me know if it's me or you still.
Yeah. To let us know. But am I sounding robotic now?
Yeah, you're still sounding robotic, fam. Jump out and jump back in.
Okay, let me just leave.
Yeah. Well, you lot let me know in the chat because it could be me. Well, he was sounding robotic on my end. So let me know. People look at Vegas because other United fans hype him up. Saeed, cough, compared him to Berbatov. Big up to my guy Saeed, but that's wrong because then we can all pick out one fan saying something. People compared, like Vegas was never as good as Berbatov, and I guarantee Saeed never said that. Yo, what you saying?
Am I better now?
Yeah. That's much better.
Yeah,
Go on, say what he's gonna say again, fam.
Yeah, no, people forget that. Manchester United have been clinical, but we don't always look for a striker and feed them in the best position like the way City are feeding everyone else. That's what I have to say, because we can get the best out of Weghorst. We can make him score goals. It's just that the way we're playing our ball, we're not looking for Weghorst. We're not crossing the ball to him. And how ironic it is when Weghorst come off, that's when we start crossing the ball into the box. You know, you have a big man for a reason, and you're not utilizing him to his full effect. So yeah, it goes both ways. We know he's average, but at the same time, we also know that you can sometimes polish a turd. So feed him, put him in position for him to score. The position that he's been getting to, I think it's just a last ditch, stick his leg out, and then he doesn't get the goal in. I know he's had a few opportunities where he's been 1-on-1 or had the opportunity to score, but they're not clear-cut chances, and he's not getting that service. And Manchester United need to do that. They need to feed the strikers, and we haven't been doing that. I like the fact that we play football to an extent that we want everyone to be scoring goals. You know, we want the goals to come from everywhere. But you have a striker that's a target man. Use him to his advantage, and we're not doing that. What Weghorst is doing is just playing in a number 10 role and fighting midfield battles, trying to win headers, trying to win knockdowns, and etc. But we need to utilize him to make him go a bit forward to score the goals, and that's why you're probably not seeing Weghorst get the goals in, and that has an effect. What do you think? Because you've seen us play, you've seen Weghorst play. Do you think he's getting the service that he needs? Flawless?
No, absolutely not. He's not. And I think better strikers than him would suffer with the players we have. Who behind Weghorst is who in an attacking sense for us has been performing at a high level outside of Rashford consistently. Outside of Rashford, Anthony gets criticized and rightfully so. Bruno gets criticized and rightfully so. Jaden Sancho has been criticized and rightfully so. Who's providing anything for him? Eriksen, who would have been, but he's been missing. And that's why Eriksen was top of our assist chart, and he's key to what we do. Casemiro at times, but he's been missing. Who else? Who are we talking about? That's why I don't really get onto Weghorst. It's ridiculous. Like, we all know he's not good enough. I don't think it's a dispute or a debate. That's what I would say. But yeah, and to King, who says fans media want Osimhen or Kane, but the manager doesn't. Why? How do we know that the manager doesn't want a Kane or Osimhen? Did he say something I missed? Somebody let me know.
No, he didn't say nothing like that.
Let me know. But all right, the poll was really close. It really was
still close.
Hopefully, like I said, my Wi-Fi holds up because my route is playing up. So if not, Ivorian will carry the show. But if I cut out, you lot know why. Before we continue, let's bump up the likes. We're at 39 likes. Get us up to 50 likes, people. Just over 45 of you lot locked in. Get us up to 50 likes, people. Subscribe to the channel. We're at 6,174. We're one of the subscriber mark. And make sure you subscribe to Ivorian's channel, Red United TV. Link is in the title. So you click the link, opens up a new tab. You can subscribe to his channel. Great content over there. And you can find all his socials. And you can see his socials in his name on the screen. All right, so the poll has been concluded. Over 60 votes. This was close pretty much. Jaden Sancho, 49%. De Gea, 11%. Bruno, 40%. So you know what? Let you to David, I want to get to this. Let me get to this quick. Joao Felix will immediately improve us flawless. Under Ten Hag, he will cook. Would he improve us? Yes. Does he improve us to the level that we need? I don't think so. He's another Jaden Sancho. And that ties into this point, actually. I use Joao Felix as the example when I talk about Jaden Sancho. Jaden Sancho is a supremely talented footballer. I like him. I was hyped when we signed him. Exceptional footballer. Exceptionally skilled. Technically very sound. Given goals, footballing IQ off the charts, 110%. But this is why when I talk about strikers and why I talk about Harry Kane, and regular watchers of me will have heard me say this many times. If you do not have pace and power, if you are not PMP, in particular in the Premier League, if you don't have those two attributes, then your other attributes, other attacking attributes, have to be exceptional, or you will struggle. This is why we're seeing Jaden Sancho struggle, and to this point from David Smith, João Felix. João Felix has people. We just criticize Weghorst. Weghorst has more goals and has more GNA than João Felix. Let me repeat that. Weghorst has more goals and assists than João Felix. João Felix has 2 goals in 10. So that's the guy to bring in. And I had my doubts about João Felix when he was linked to Manchester United Football Club for that very reason. Supremely talented footballer, supremely skilled, great on a comp, skills, can make a man look silly, mega man, all that type of stuff. What is your production? And that's what it is with Jaden Sancho. The problem with Jaden Sancho, and I don't want to have this come to Jesus talk, but it has to happen. I swear down, I don't want to have it. I don't, because I like him. But
I know. It's got to have it.
He's the right player. He's just in the wrong league, in the wrong team. Wrong league. If you send him back to Germany, I think he cooks. You put him in Spain, cooks. You put him in Italy, cooks. Here, nah. Like I said, if you are not pace and power, you will struggle. That's just what it is. Football in 2023 is now an athlete's game. When you look, if we do a list right now of the top 10 left wingers, top 10 right wingers, top 10 strikers, guaranteed 9 out of 10 of them, 9 out of the 10 in each position I just mentioned, have pace and power. Do you need more with that? Absolutely. You need more. But if we stay in, let's say right wingers, the right winger who probably gets in that list, who doesn't have pace and power, is Mahrez. One of the best right wingers we've ever seen in the Premier League. If we do a top 5 of right wingers, he probably gets in. Definitely gets in the top 10. If we do the strikers, Harry Kane don't have pace and power. One of the best strikers we've seen in the Premier League, Ivorian. Am I lying? One of the top strikers.
Yes.
Easy. Top 10.
100.
So we're talking you have to be one of the best ever without it currently. They're the two. If there's others, name me. We can go to Europe. Whether you mention a Mbappe, a Vinicius Jr., the guy at Napoli, you all know I'm talking about, the winger, I can't pronounce his name, Osherman. What do those 4 players have in common?
Pace and power.
Do they have other things? Yes, absolutely. And that's what it is with Jaden Sancho. It's the wrong it's the right player. He's in the wrong league. He's in the wrong league in the wrong era. Not even in the wrong era, because I think he goes elsewhere. It's just the wrong league. And I hate that for him. And he's in that boat, Jaden Sancho, where it's what's his best position? Is it left? Is it right? Is it through the middle? I actually think in a 10. But then if we're talking about what else a 10 offers, you still need to be able to press and do things of that nature. Can Sancho do that to an extent? Yes. But yeah, it sucks. LFC for the double says Grealish doesn't have the most PMP and he's good. And we've seen Grealish struggle.
For Man City at times.
We've seen Grealish struggle in a better team, in a better system, with a better manager. 110%. We've seen him struggle. King, I get to it as well. I think he's just in the wrong system, not just so much the wrong league. Maybe, Eddie. I agree with you to an extent, Eddie. I think if you put him in a better system, yes. But we need a lot of pieces already to then put him, for Jaden Sancho to get the most out of him. Because we're seeing players who are not, because people will say there's players in Manchester United team not as good as Jaden Sancho. And I agree. He's one of our better players. But how come they're being more productive? People will tell you Sancho's better than Rashford. Not the conversation I'm having, so nobody ask me who's better. Who's been more productive this season? Rashford. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Who's had the most impact? Rashford. Not even close. Like, that's what it is. I keep saying about this, man. What is your productivity? He don't produce enough. Even against Newcastle, were we bad? Yes, he came on the pitch and was awful. Let's not dispute that. He wasn't the only one. They were all terrible. Minus Martinez and Varane, all terrible. No question about it. But he was bad. I can't defend poor performance or average performance. If this guy's as good as people are saying he is, you have to produce. It's all well and good being talented. It's like having a girl who's absolutely fine and you meet her. Fine. You know what I'm saying? Everything you would want. Pretty face, body is banging, nice front, nice back. Because it's early, I'll keep it clean because we're not past the watershed. But she has a terrible personality. You know what I'm saying? She not even a terrible personality. She's just dry. She got no jokes. You know what I'm saying? I won't have to go that far. But
yeah, but you get me.
This guy. But she's just dry. She got no personality. That's what I'll say. I stick to the analogy I was using. She's just dry. She's just got no personality. Not in a bad way. Like, she's cool, she's nice and everything, and she looks good, but she has no personality. That is Jaden Sancho. That is Jaden Sancho. We talk about our attacking players, but you're only as strong as your weakest player. Bruno King, you're new here, so I let you off. We've criticized Bruno many a time on this very show. There's literally a rant from months ago, me talking about Bruno. And we're going to get onto him. That's why he was in the poll, and that's why he's in the title. But with Jaden Sancho, that's what it is. I can't defend no productivity. I can't even defend. You're not even bright. And when I say he's not even bright, I'm talking about in games where I can go, you was the best out of a bad bunch. Like, Anthony was bright in that first half for like 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Sancho, give me something. Give me something. Is it all on him? No, but eventually I have to hold you accountable. And he could shut me up. He could ball out against Brentford and ball out against Everton. And then we're having a whole different conversation. But I want him to do that. I need to see more. But currently, it's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, she has a bad personality, but you still have feelings for her. Yes, exactly, Malcolm. Like I said, nice girl. Nice love. You could bring her home to your mom. She could meet your grandma, the whole nine. Like I said, looks good as well. But she's just dry personality-wise. Like, that's it. Your thoughts, though, on Sancho?
On Sancho, you know, I like the guy in it, like, and it's hard. It's hard because I was just like you. I was ecstatic when we signed him, even though it took a whole year for us to sign him. I thought to myself, yes, we've got a player, generational talent, someone that can beat a man, someone that can create opportunities. I was looking forward to for the goals and assists that he was going to provide to the team and take our attacking option to the next level. But it just gives me those Paul Pogba vibes where it just looks like it's not going to work out for him, you know. The performance are not there for him. And you're right, pace and power does matter. And I hope he can develop that. It's not easy to develop pace and power. You can sometimes work on your pace. You can definitely work on your strength and all that kind of stuff, which you can do. But it's been how many seasons so far, Flows? This is the second season we're going into. I will wipe out the first season because he was under Oli. Oli did not know what he wanted. Didn't know what to do with him. He chased him for a whole year, but didn't know what he was doing with him. And then the whole Ragnick situation as well. So I will blame him. This is his actual up season where he gets to show himself. And then again, in the second season where everyone just written the script, giving you the Men in Black flashlight so we can forget what happened the season before. He's still doing the same thing. It's just not working for him, you know. He's an extremely talented player, and I'm praying that it works out for Jaden Sancho. But what can you do about him right now? Sancho, it depends on how Ten Hag wants to use him. If he feels like he's better off playing it in the middle, so he's not challenged enough too much away. He doesn't have to show that much strength because on the wing you need to be able to have pace, beat a man, and have some strength. Well, if you play as the playmaker in the number 10 role, you just need to be able to drop into pockets, make the right move, be one step ahead of the defensive midfielder or the defense or the opposition player. And we haven't really tested that so far because we've given a fraudulent man in that and put him in that position. But it's not working for Sancho. I don't know what's going on. He's returned back from injury or from his long spell out and still unable to get a consistent run of games at the starting at the start of the match. So it just makes me wonder what's going to happen with Sancho. And I don't know, Ten Hag, he kind of believes in him, but I just don't know, man. And I don't want it to be a failure because we spent a lot of money. And how many times do we need to take an L on spending a lot of money on players as well? Like we've done it. This is like what? This will be the third player we spent over 50 million, and we're thinking, oh, well, we lost money on that one. We've got Pogba, we've got Maguire, and of course Sancho as well. We spent a lot of money. I'm praying the guy works. The boy is from London, Kennington, like South London, and I'm hoping he can do well. Just because I'm from South London, I want to see a fellow brother do well from South London.
Absolutely,
and I know
man.
where he's come from.
See I don't know him like that. I'm not from London, but I want to see the ManDem do well, of course, for obvious reasons. And before we continue, big up to my guy Carefree Lewis G for the raid. Big up Lewis every single time. Make sure you subscribe to Lewis's channel. The link's underneath in the description on this video and every single live stream at Carefree Lewis G. Go subscribe. One of the best content creators. If you're a Chelsea fan, you should be over there. Definitely. Even if you're a non-Chelsea fan, be over there. I watch his content and I ain't a Chelsea fan. It's that good. So make sure you subscribe to Lewis's channel as well. Please keep all your questions Manchester United related though, please. And everyone who's joined over from the raid, bump up the likes. We're at 52 likes. And of course, if you super chat people, we will get straight to your comment and question as well. Please check out the membership also. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment. But yeah, go on, carry on, fam.
But yeah,
regards to what you was talking about.
I don't know. It's too early. I don't know. It's too early to say, but we may have to revise him at the end of the season. I know it's only been 2 seasons, but it's, for some reason I just feel like it's not going to work out. I said it earlier on before people came on. It's giving me the Paul Pogba vibe where we want it to work out, but it's just too much inconsistency in the level of performance that he's been displaying on the pitch. I hope next season during preseason he goes off and works on his pace and power because he truly needs it. You know, you can't just always be. You can be. You're the number 7 or number 11, whatever. The winger, number 10, this whatever. You can't be put on the floor all the time in the Premier League. You know, you need to have some kind of strength. Work on it. I don't understand why certain players don't.
Before you continue, for those that are asking about Sancho, like legit, Ivorian is talking about him right now. People, we're literally talking about Sancho.
Exactly. Someone wanted this. Someone wanted this 2 weeks ago.
We're literally talking about Sancho right now. Go on, carry on. I'm just letting the people know. Big on my guy Lewis as well every single time.
Yes,
go on.
Big up Lewis as well, man. But yeah, as I was saying about Sancho, I don't know why certain players when they come to the Premier, they don't think, "Raw, do I need to work on my pace? Maybe I just go with my natural flow and try and go with it." You come to the Premier League where it's physically intense, up and down. The stamina needs to be right. You need to be able to go up and down, like it's a bleak test. You know, you need to have that strength as well. You need to be able to hold to bench 100 kgs at least. You know, I'm over exaggerating about the 100 kg, but you need to be able to bench press and have that strength to hold on to the ball because this is the Premier League. Darwin Núñez will tell you this. He never expected. He told you, "Raw, all these players are fast and strong." You know, it's different from where I came from. This is a real proper league, and it's a man's league here. So I don't know why they don't think about working on their weakness, which is their strength and their pace. And you can work on it. You can get faster. You can get faster and you can get stronger.
You can get sprint coach. You can get faster. You definitely can get stronger
faster
as well.
Yeah.
You can definitely get stronger. 100%.
Work on the game because I was wondering to myself, what was Jaden Sancho doing throughout the whole November, December, all that time out? I know he probably has some mental issues that he needs to sort it out, but he got sent over to overseas to go and work on his fitness. I don't know why they work on his strength. Again, Flores, I want it to work out. We all want it to work out. But it looks like it might not work out. But I definitely hope I'm wrong because I like this guy, you know. I know what he's about. I when I first saw him, I said, this is a player that has the potential to play for either Real Madrid or Barcelona, you know. So he'd probably one day go up for Ballon d'Or as he continues to develop. But we ain't seen the Jaden Sancho that we saw at Dortmund. We ain't seen the Jaden Sancho that we saw in his Man City academy twilight years, and even at Watford in his academy years as well. So I don't know what we can do about this. We either have to bite the bullet, sell him at the end of the season, or give him another chance and put him on some special program that will help improve him. Because right now we just don't know what we can do about Jaden Sancho.
And again, one thing we're not going to do is go over the top. Because Joe out here said Saka ain't that fast, but he's got the strength to turn players and shield the ball. What game you been watching?
No, Saka's a fast player.
Saka's very fast. What are you talking about? Saka's not fast. Ain't that fast. Saka's electric. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Like, that's one thing we're not going to do is, and this is what people have been doing with the Newcastle result going over the top. We're not going to go over the top in regards to Sancho. I've seen people in the chat talking about, oh, he's not trying. Just because you're laid back doesn't mean you're not trying. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. The reason why I'm not having that is because people label that at me in general. You know what I'm saying? And that's, all right, Joe, you're the only person on the planet that thinks Saka's not that fast, but each to their own. My point is, anyway, we're not going to label that at Sancho and say he's not trying just because he's laid back. Nonsense. Absolute foolishness. There's nothing logical to back up that statement to say he's not trying. He doesn't want it enough. Nonsense. Bullshit. Calling it out now. Only level that black players. Let's call a spade a spade. I didn't want to do it, but let's call a spade a spade. White players, that never happens to. Never, ever. It's never attitude when it comes to white players. Ever mentioned. ever. So one thing we're not gonna do is talk nonsense on that and say Sancho's not trying enough. How? Based off of what? Why? Because he don't run around like a Bruno. Stupidness. Pure absolute stupidness. You know what I'm saying? In that absolute nonsense. That's foolishness. Like let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? In that let's not question that man's attitude because no one can't talk about him personally because we don't know him. So let's get that out there. You know what I'm saying? In that like let's just do that. But in regards, because some new people joined from the raid, so they joined whilst Ivorian was talking about it. My thoughts on Sancho, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's got Paul Pogba written all over it again. You know what I'm saying? In that it's got Paul Pogba written all over it again. I've not seen Sancho pull out of a tackle, but then again, Joe, you think Saka's not fast, so here we are in it. You know what I'm saying? In that here we are. This is why you Berbatov was laid back. Zidane was. Nobody called Berbatov. No one was talking about Berbatov's attitude and not trying hard enough. Interesting.
I remember.
Reason why they didn't mention it of Zidane because he don't have the Menelin, but Zidane was of African descent. let Zidane be my skin tone or Ivorian skin tone. Different conversations in that. But yeah, and again, no, I disagree on the mentality thing because we don't. Yeah, man, when you black, you get the attitude card. Of course. You know what I'm saying nonsense. Nobody has anything. You got people like Joao making stuff up, or he pulls out of tackles where. I'm saying stupidness. I'm saying Saka's not fat, whatever, man. People going over the top when he gives you enough reason to criticize him because his performances ain't been good enough. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen David Beckham jump out of a tackle. Was his mentality dead too? David Beckham jumped out of a tackle, and then Brazil went and scored a goal that knocked England out of a World Cup. If we really want to go there, people forget that the goal that I think it was Rivaldo scored. I'm saying, like, what we doing? So Beckham, his mentality was awful too. So you don't like Beckham, Joao, yeah? See what I'm saying? People just be absolutely talking nonsense. Anyways, as I was saying, I've seen like absolute nonsense. I'm saying absolute nonsense. That is mentality because of one thing. All right. But then again, Saka's not fast. But back to the point I was making with Sancho anyway. Yeah, it screams of Pogba. I'm saying. Screams of Pogba. It really, really does, where it's just quality player just at the wrong time. And that's what it is. And Ten Hag I rate highly. Sancho will cook at City, the ball playing midfield. United of Bruno, McTominay, Sabitzer, Fred. Only Casemiro and Eriksen represent the players. Sancho, same. The Sancho needs, same for Anthony. Do I believe Sancho does better at City? Yeah. Does he cook? I don't know. Because Grealish ain't cooked there. Grealish has got better this season, has been performing at a better level, but Grealish hasn't lived up to his price tag. And if Grealish was at Manchester United, you know what the conversation would be? If Grealish was at Manchester City, he would cook. I think it's just the wrong player. I mean, not the wrong player, sorry. At the wrong time. That's what it is. Just at the wrong time. That's legit what it is. You know what I'm saying? I never said pulling out tackles is bad. Pulling out tackles is bad. That's what you're making out. That's not a good thing. But because I debunked it with the Beckham thing, now it's a whole different conversation. But yeah, it's just, see what I'm saying, man. People think, please, you know what I'm saying? And I'm all for disagreeing with us, but please just use logic. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about these things, please. Like, Sancho gives you enough. We don't have to go overboard. If you just dislike Sancho, just say that. And that's fine. But yeah, with him, Jez made a great point. He said, and Jez is someone who's German who watches the Bundesliga. He says, I remember when we had these convos, Flawless, when I told you as well at Dortmund, he never played 10. Like, for that reason, he was always out wide, but this is a new level. I agree. Elsewhere, he plays well. That's a major point with him. What's his best position? Once you start getting into conversations like that about players, that's a problem. Because I think it's the 10, personally, when I look at his attributes. But then does he give you the off-the-ball stuff in the 10 that you want? Probably not. I don't think he's suited to playing out wide. In a better system, yes, of course I agree. With Ten Hag, not with Ten Hag, with better players around him and Manchester United dominating the ball more, would we get more out of Sancho? Yes. But does that happen next season? Does he get into our best 11? So let's talk about it. Rashford definitely plays from the left. We sign he's not going to play for, we're going to sign a striker, whoever that is. Anthony plays from the right. We're probably going to sign a 10 because of Donny, because we'll probably move on Donny. And then we've got Bruno there. Where does Sancho play?
Do you know what, yeah? I feel like Sancho, although he could play as 10, I see him as an inside forward or an inverted winger, someone that can just cut himself in and drift into the inside, whereas the fullback will overlap him, and then where he can perform the 1-2s. And that's the one thing that we're not seeing too tough. And I know Ten Hag is working on this in the training pitch, the connection and the overlapping from the fullbacks. And maybe it's because he doesn't have the midfielders that he needs in order to require for us to play a full forward and full fluid attacking philosophy that he prefers, where the fullbacks are overlapping and supporting the attackers as well, where the attackers themselves who can tuck in, and that's not happening so far. Maybe next season when we get the players that Ten Hag wants to play his philosophy, because I said it before, we're not seeing the full Eric Ten Hag ball. We're not seeing Ten Hag ball yet. Ten Hag is adapting to the players that he has to get the best out of them until the end of the season. You see the difference when he had the Ten Hag signing in the squad, and then the difference when we don't have Ten Hag signing in the squad. When we don't have Ten Hag signing in the squad. What does it remind me of Oli Ball, right? People be saying this feels like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager. But when everyone that he signed is playing, we're playing some football, and we're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. We're playing ball. Until Ten Hag signs all the players that he needs to implement that philosophy to its full use, then maybe we can see the Sancho that we want to see, where the fullback is supporting him as well, because Sancho is not a player that beats a man. He beats a man by dropping into pockets and 1-2s and etc. Not by skill and raw pace. We've seen that before. He doesn't do that. We know what he's about. He's a playmaker. Maybe an inverted playmaker on the wing. You just never know. But hopefully we'll see next season flawless, man. I'll give it one more season. I will give it one more season, because you've given Oli 3 years and you said nothing and it was okay. You give him Maguire and you give him the blind. So I'm allowed to give Sancho 3 years. Do you feel me?
Yeah, one thing I'm saying, I'm not saying sell him. Don't get it mistaken, people. I'm just saying I no longer defend him. That's where I'm at with him now. Like, if people want to criticize him, then first, you got to produce. Again, is there reasons around why he's not producing that are not his fault? Absolutely. The team around him is not good enough. We all know that. The team around him currently, like I'm saying currently, if you had Casemiro or Eriksen upgrade on Eriksen, a striker, of course, another number 10, whole different conversation. Or maybe he plays in the 10, definitely. But he's not blameless. That's why I'm no longer going to defend him. I'm no longer going to defend him. Sancho got what's it called, innit? Sancho got to step up. He got to step up. I'm saying Nicholas says Sancho thrives on possession. I'm back now. Sancho thrives on possession football. When I used to watch Dortmund, they had a lot of the ball. Yeah, he'll definitely, but that's every single striker. Every single striker will thrive more on the ball. I mean, with more of the ball, because you're having more opportunities to do things. You're having more opportunities to do way more things, of course. Whether you're a 10, whether you're a wide player, whether you're a striker, of course. Like, that's it. But I really don't know. King says, flawless love for reading out the comments. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get to all the questions and comments I can, people. I've started the bell once. Anything else you want to add on Sancho before we move on to Bruno Fernandes?
We move on to Bruno Fernandes, man.
All right, let's move. Before we move, hold that thought. That's 69 likes. Let's get up to 80 likes, people. We're at 69. There's over 100 of you lot in here. Let's get up to 80 likes. Subscribe if you're new. We have hit the first subscriber mark. Get us to 6,180. We're looking for 4 new subscribers, people. We're looking for 4 new subscribers. And there's over 100 of you lot in here. I know there's 4 of you lot who haven't hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Follow at Sarcasm City TV on Twitter and Instagram, and make sure you follow them both and turn the notifications on, because YouTube don't always notify you. But let's go to it. Bruno, let's go.
Take a deep breath, man. I gotta take a deep breath. Yeah. No. I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here. You there?
Yeah.
I don't think he's there.
Let me just.
Has he gone? Yo, where's Ivorian will be back, people. Like I said, my Wi-Fi playing up. I'm gonna sort it out after this show. I don't know what's going on. My router has been playing up. It was playing up last night as well. When I couldn't end the show. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yo, Ivorian, you back? Yeah. Cool. I didn't know if it was me or you.
I don't know today, man. I just don't know what's going on. It's like the internet don't want us to succeed today, you know?
Yeah, it don't, man.
They don't want us to have this conversation.
All right, you go on. You go, Bruno. I'm gonna drop out because I need to sort out this internet thing. Speak on Bruno. I'll be listening from.
I think everyone has heard me say earlier on regarding Bruno Fernandes. Do you know what? Again, I will say this again, guys, because I will go back to what I was saying regarding Bruno Fernandes, because I am of the belief that Manchester United can't really succeed with Bruno Fernandes in that midfield as the main anchorman to play that number 10 role for Manchester United. And the reason why I keep saying this before is because as a playmaker, a number 10, your job is to create opportunities, which is true. Bruno creates opportunities. He does. His GEA speaks magnificently well to everyone. It translates and transcends to many different languages. What he lacks in is the positioning, to be in the right position. He's not disciplined enough. You know, he lacks discipline. What else he's doing? He's wasteful with the ball as well. And I like the fact that he's a maverick, but you can't waste that much chances. You know, there's people who are starving in Africa, and you're out here wasting opportunities and food for our own players. You shouldn't be doing that, big man. I don't like that. With Bruno Fernandes as well, like I said, the reason why you're supposed to be creating opportunities for your players and retain possession. Retaining possession is key for a midfielder. That's your bread and butter. Passing the ball in the right direction to your players, keep the possession, remain calm, and ensuring that everyone else is calm. A midfielder dictates tempo. Bruno Fernandes is meant to dictate tempo, and he doesn't dictate tempo. He is big up King's. Is it men like King? He says that what's it called? Bruno ain't no Paul Scholes. He ain't no Paul Scholes. So why? Paul Scholes was dictate tempo, keep possession, recycle possession as well. Do not give the ball away. How many times do we see Paul Scholes give the ball away? But how many times have we seen Bruno Fernandes give the ball away lazily, and then all of a sudden we're from attack to defense, like what you saw against Newcastle on Sunday? Because I lost my head as soon as I saw that, and that's not the first time I've seen that with Bruno Fernandes. It's nice that you score goals, it's nice that you assist, but that is not enough for me for a midfielder. And people say they pick Kevin De Bruyne over Bruno. They will pick Odegaard over Bruno. And I would pick those two over Bruno. Bruno, to this day, has not shined in the big game. Bigger done as well. He lacks intelligence. Water is wet. Fire hot. Bruno is dunce. Which Bruno looks for space because he's not press resistant. Why Eric Turner puts him out on the wing is just to fit him in, which is true. And that's one of the reasons why Bruno has been playing on the wing, because he knows he's going to waste it. The one thing about Bruno Fernandes is that at times he knows when to make the perfect pass or the perfect way of pass to find his player. But how many times those has turned into success? I will tell you right now, 9 out of 10 of his passes are wasteful. The one opportunity, the one pass becomes a successful pass. Bruno Fernandes as a captain as well, from what I've seen, good for him. Yeah, he's led the team well, better than what Maguire has done. But I remember what he did against Liverpool when he lost his head and he pushed the referee. It's so funny how Mitrovic has got an 8-match ban, but Bruno pushed the assistant, maybe because it's the assistant referee, and the assistant referee doesn't matter. He's not as important as the main referee. Maybe that's why they let him go. But I thought all referees are all equal. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? But I will say it again. I am not interested in the risk football. No. Risk does come with great rewards. But at what risk? At what risk? Do we need to lose the ball all the time? Do we need to lose the ball all the time? And that's one thing I'm fed up with Bruno Fernandes. Keep the fucking ball. Keep it. Keep it. You're a midfielder. That's your job. And that's why, one thing I have to say, one of the reasons why Manchester United have done well in midfield this season is because of the likes of Casemiro and Eriksen. Before Eriksen got injured, he was a top assist. Bruno, who was meant to be playing ahead of these guys, he's meant to be having more than double figures in assists, wasn't. But Eriksen was. Eriksen's better at recycling the ball. Eriksen was better at distributing the ball. The intelligence of Eriksen is by far. Christian Eriksen is probably a better number 10 than Bruno Fernandes. And sometimes it makes me wonder why we was the only team that was after Bruno. And I'm not here going to say that Bruno is a bad player. He's trash. All I'm saying is that Manchester United can do better.
by replacing him and putting him on the bench and buying a better number 10 that's more productive, that retains the ball, that spreads the ball, that does not waste opportunities. Again, Bruno treats the match like it's a training session when it's the real game. And again, I'll say it again, we're not talking about practice, we're talking about the real game, not practice, the real game. So stop spamming these balls like you're training. We're not training. This is the actual game. This is where everything needs to be on point. Again, if for those who want to say I'm moving mad, Bruno scores so many goals, why are you hating on him? You're the type of guy that will allow your woman to cheat on you, or as long as she looks after you financially, because you're okay with the GAs. The GA represents the money, the PlayStation, the gifts that she buys you, but she's constantly cheating on you. She doesn't cook for you. She goes out on girls' night and don't come back until 2 days later, and you know she's cheated on you. But you're happy with that. The type of person you are to accept the bullshit that Bruno does. I ain't that guy, man. Big up to everyone that was saying that you got mineral that says Don Dada Diamond as a goon on myself. I feel is a good creator and is like the same profile but not ability. Bruno's a good creator. He's got the numbers to show, but it's inconsistency. I've never seen Bruno perform 90 minutes and I'm like, that's been fantastic. Most of his performances are inconsistent throughout the whole 90 minutes. And I see it as, are you a moments player now? You are a moments player. And to me, Bruno Fernandes is a moments player, guys. And I'm very sure you guys probably believe me. You probably think, yeah, probably right. You're probably right, Ivorian Spice. The guy is a moment player. And I say this before, moments are not good for me, bro. We're a Manchester United fan. We're used to 90 minutes of satisfaction. Do you get me? You can't be out here performing for 1 minute and then the rest of the 89 minutes you ain't doing fuck all, bro. You get me? I feel sorry for his wife, man. Probably the wife can verify me if he can perform for more than 1 minute. His wife will tell me that, and I want to know because the guy can't perform on the pitch for us. Probably might not be able to perform in the bedroom. He might need Viagra. I'm done. Hey, Flawless, you back? Because I need to read the comments as well.
Yeah. Run through the comments because I'm still trying to sort out my internet. Run through the comments.
And the funny thing is that, of course, what did Mineral says, mate, possession don't win you games, and he has delivery, but scoring, etc. And Eric Ten Hag has improved him and won a trophy. I don't know, man. He's improved. I can say that for sure, guys. He's improved slightly. He's not as ill-disciplined as he was before, but still, the quality still show. Yes, he can score goals. Yes, he can create chances. But I said Mineral before, scoring goals and creating chances is not enough when you can't perform for 90 minutes. We as Manchester United want a bit more than that. You're supposed to be a world-class or an elite midfield player, but why come you never turn up in the big games? Why didn't I see you against Arsenal showing up, creating assists and create chances? Where was you in Liverpool when we lost 7-0? Because the guy lost his head. The guy pushed the ref, like I said earlier on, and then boom. The guy lost it. As many times against Man City, never showed up. Many times against in big games, he don't show up. And this is a guy that's supposed to be elite and world class. We need a midfielder that will always show up in big games. You know, bring me that the likes of Riquelme, and you guys remember Riquelme, cool, calm, and collective in that attacking midfield, in that number 10 role. Bruno Fernandes is not a 10. He's not an 8. He's not a 6. And I just don't know what he is. It's a question of what is Bruno Fernandes. And I'm not sitting here saying that he needs to leave Manchester United. That's the one thing I have to say. I'm just saying that I've seen it with my eyes now. For 2 years, I've allowed it. Now I know that for Manchester United to win and compete and win major honors, you can't have a player like Bruno leading your team as the main playmaker. He can't be. It just won't work. LFC for the double says United need Harry Kane play false 9 and get a goal scoring right winger and let that attack eat. Do you know what it is? Big ups Stephanie that says a luxury attacker as well. Donna Dada said again, you need to first have a cohesive midfielder before you take risk. That's Bruno is taking risk. It's the ability of analysis moment on the pitch. His IQ leaves much to be desired at the highest level.
Let me guess. Bruno.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me guess. Am I back? Can you hear me and see me okay? Yeah?
I can hear you, see you okay. You're looking good, bro.
Cool. My Wi-Fi is still much appreciated. My Wi-Fi is still, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, but I can hear you, so it's calm. We keep it stepping. My apologies there. Big up to Ivorian for holding it down. Yeah, go on, fam.
What was I going to say? And then there's the one thing you can see. You remember a couple of weeks ago when we won the Carabao Cup, guys? Why did Casemiro have a go at Bruno?
Right.
These are the decisions that I'm talking about when Bruno, you was in position to lay men off for the 3-0, but you wanted all the glory. And that there is what I don't like. You're a midfielder. You're a playmaker. Your bread and butter is to make a goal. Not to score the goal. That's a bonus. But what you thrive on and what you dream of and what you get up for and what you get hard on is for assists. And that's your job, to assist, man. And again, if you don't do that, then that's not good enough for Manchester United, man. Because when the moments where you can make it 3-0 and make it a comfortable win, you make it a hard, difficult end towards the end of the game. That's why I rate Casemiro. That's why he's a winner. He told Bruno off for that, and he deserved it. But yes, Flawless, you're back now.
Yo, my shit's still bugging. You know what I'm saying? And Stephanie G, you're right. Your Wi-Fi is like Bruno here and miss 100%. I wish Bruno had this consistency. I wish Bruno had the consistency of my Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? And I wish my Wi-Fi is normally A1, and then occasionally, like today, it will mess up. But for the most part, I stream all day. Well, not all day. I stream every day, people. At least 3 times a day. And normally my Wi-Fi is superb 3 times a day, every single day. And now look at this. This fan base is slowly turning on Bruno. It's sad. The reason why we're turning on him, Joe, is because he's just not that good. That's what it is. People like you want to make excuses for him. Look at that performance. Why are you not here criticizing that performance against Newcastle? That performance was awful. He gave away the ball more than he completed passes against Newcastle United. What are we doing? Hear what I'm saying, people. Hear what I'm saying loud and clear. He gave the ball away more than he passed to his own teammates. In the words of Karim Benzema, the great Benz, he's playing against us. Is it just him? No. It's not just Bruno. But is he good enough? No. We got people like Joe and others in the chat, because I've been watching the chat as well, who will defend him after that performance. Why are we here defending him? Why? You know what I'm saying? And that I ain't making excuses. I rate him more than players like McTominay. That's a larger issue. Yes, he's better than McTominay, but who's not? I can go power league round the corner from my house. That's a 10-minute walk, and find man who are better than McTominay. I can also find man that are better than Bruno. What are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? And that we've been calling out McTominay. Is McTominay a big issue? Yes, but we've solved it in terms of signing Casemiro and Eriksen. Do we need to solve more issues? Yes. Is there issues in the team? Solve all the problems. Solve all the problems. You know what I'm saying? It's like having a leak. It's like you're in your house. It's like having a leak in the roof, but your shower's broken. Both 2 problems, but one is more important than the other. But if you can fix the shower, fix the shower. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the roof is the most important one, but you still go and fix the shower. You know what I'm saying? It's like your microwave being broken, but there's a roof in your house. Go fix the microwave, but you still fix the roof. Stop making excuses for this, man. I'm tired of it. People continue to make excuses. This fan
base ignore it. It's the GA. It's the GA. I keep telling you, it's the GA.
Max, this fan base is slowly turning on Bruno. It's sad. You know what's sad is that people still defend him in this fan base when he puts in performances like that. Horrific. He was horrific against Newcastle. Horrific. Not the only one, but we're talking particular about Bruno. Same way I criticized Sancho and said he was poor when he came on against Newcastle. Bruno was awful against Fulham. Awful. My Wi-Fi is playing up. My apologies, people. You lot let me know if it's too much. I just reset my laptop. It's just on my end then. It's just on my end. It keeps flashing. But as I was saying, he's not good. Let me repeat the stat again. He gave the ball away more than he completed passes against Newcastle United. And you know the difference is? He's awful. No, Joe, you've not mentioned him being shit till I've mentioned it to you. All you've done in the chat so far is deflect and defend him. This is the point I'm making. You were quick to call out Sancho and say this and that and the third about Sancho. But as soon as it comes to Bruno, the fans are defending him. It's sad. The fans are defending him. It's sad. Nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Absolute nonsense. He's not good. Yes, he has been shit recently, but until I mentioned it, you didn't mention it. And the reason why I'm pinpointing you, because you're a prime example of the fans I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? A prime example of the Bruno Defense League. If he performed on the pitch, people would shut up. The reason why he gets criticized because he doesn't perform often enough and consistent enough. Simple as that. Against Fulham, he was awful. You know what I'm saying in that? He's awful. I do defend him. He's done a lot for United. Sancho hasn't. What's he done for Manchester United? We're going to sit and wait. What has Bruno done that is so great for Manchester United? That deserves defending. Please let me know. What has he done? What did he achieve that's so great? This is going to be interesting, people. While we wait for Joel to respond, make sure you hit the like button because Joel's new here. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm tired of this nonsense. I'm so tired. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe to Ivorian's channel. No, Joe. Answer the question. You said he's done a lot for United. What has Bruno done? Simple question. That's all I want to know because I've heard this before and I'm still waiting for an answer. Stan culture is crazy. Crazy. Let me start this. I do defend him, but he's done a lot for United. Sancho hasn't, so please let me know what Bruno's done. What has he achieved that is deserved defended? It's going to be good, people. So always these debates and these interests are always good because I'm on one now. So let's get to it because there's always someone. No. Answer the question. When he signed, we elevated. He made instant impact. Elevated us to where? Where did he elevate us to? What did we win? Please elaborate.
I told you, Flawless. I made my example earlier on when I said that there will be people in this chat that would say, "Rah, you're moving mad. Like, rah, what's been done? You only see the GAs. You're the type, I keep saying before, you're the type of guy that your woman will be cheating on you, but you won't see it because why? She's buying you all the things you want."
I said he elevated us to what? What has he elevated us to? Give me the trophy. What's he elevated us to, please? What's his biggest team? Football is a team game. No. We're not talking about Sancho, so let's not do that. So Bruno took us from third to sixth, third, then second. No one's defending Sancho. We've criticized Sancho the entire time. I've said I'm no longer defending him. So stop deflecting and let's talk about Bruno. Answer the question, please, my guy. What has Bruno elevated us to? Second. So being runners up because it's a team game. So what trophy did you get for that, please? I'm not, but nobody's defending Sancho. Please talk about Bruno. This is what I'm talking about with Bruno people. People always have to talk about others. No one's talking about Sancho. Nobody's defended Sancho. Sancho's not been good. I'm no longer defending him. What has Bruno? You said Bruno was elevated. He's done a lot for Manchester United. What has he done? You said he elevated us to. When did I didn't say you said he won us my trophies. I'm asking you the question, Joe. What has he elevated us to? See, man, they got to answer people. Man, they got to answer. People just be saying shit about this guy because they like him and he scores goals and assists. He's not that good.
Thank you.
I know other fans will take him. You never hear no rival fans say, yeah, bring me Bruno. I'm saying. Bruno didn't even play. This is what I'm talking about. He's definitely delivered less than Pogba. Pogba helped us win 2 trophies. Pogba actually helped us win silverware. Well, we're not going to get into that. He said Bruno has elevated us and he's done a lot for Manchester United. What has he done? He has done more than Sancho, but Sancho's done nothing. That's my point. Sancho's done nothing. Bruno's done nothing. They've both done nothing. What are we talking about? If we sold Sancho this summer, I would not cry about it. Not in the slightest. Wouldn't cry about it if we sold Sancho. If someone in the chat was like, we should sell Sancho, I'd be like, I hear your point. I get it. To be honest, I'd push most of these players off a cliff. The only players I'd legit keep is 4. Martinez, Varane, Casemiro, Eriksen. Rashford, 5. Everyone else I'd push off a cliff in a heartbeat. And when I say a cliff, I'm not talking a literal cliff. I'm talking hypothetical. I would. So what are we talking about? Man's new here talking like he's talk to me and my opinions on it. No one's saying Sancho. Again, I asked him this question 10 minutes ago about Bruno. A man's still not got I've still not got a response. He's done a lot for United and he's elevated us. Done a lot and elevated us to what? Somebody please let me know. That's why he gets defended. He's not even been top 3 players for us this season. What are we doing? We've had a successful season and he's not been top 3. He's not been better than Cass. He's not been better than Martinez. He's not been better than Bruno. I won't even defend Anthony like that. Like I said, I stand by what I said. There's 5 players I would keep. There's 5 players who I genuinely go, yeah. Everyone else, if Ivorian right now said, yo, I'd get rid of Anthony tomorrow, do you think I'm going to argue him down? No. If he was like, I'm going to get rid of Dalot, a Wan-Bissaka, a Shaw, exclude Malacia as well. Exclude Malacia. Exclude Malacia. If Ivorian said, I'm getting rid of De Gea, who's actually done shit for Manchester United, I go, you know what, cool. So he elevated us, but seconds, okay, so because we was runners up, that's what it is. So he helped us go from 6th to 2nd. So we celebrate moving and finishing 2nd, okay. Well, you celebrate finishing, I don't celebrate that. I give no credit for that. So that's where we different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. I don't deal with that. I deal in trophies. I'm sorry. Taking us from 6th to 2nd is no. That's no.
Didn't we not finish 6th last season with Bruno?
Yeah, with Bruno. But he's done a lot for us and elevated us. Crazy. Let me move on from. Actually, let me not even move on from this. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about, people. Bruno's just not good. And rather than people just say, yeah, Bruno's not good, they want to try, he's done a lot for the club. He elevated us because we finished 2nd. Ollie helped us finish 2nd. Did he elevate us?
No. We regressed.
Did Ollie, is it? You know what I'm saying in that? True Blue, what is your target for United and Ten Hag next season? If we have the right summer, title challenge, quarterfinals of the Champions League, definitely a FA Cup or League Cup or both. That's it. I'm not Joe. I'm not celebrating 2nd place. I would even celebrate a challenge. The bare minimum is a challenge. I don't think it depends on the summer. If I think we have the best team, I'll say we should win the league. If I think we have the 2nd or 3rd best team, like squad in the league after we've done our business in the summer and everyone else, I say we should challenge. I'm saying. When Bruno joined, we instantly won more. We were awful before him. Okay, but that's all right, cool. You celebrate wins that mean nothing then. Cool. Fine. That's your thing. He's done a lot. Cool. No trophies on that. Cool. I celebrate trophies. That's when I defend players. Bring me trophies and I shut up. And not just one, bring me multiple. Because these lot bring me a Carabao. These lot just brought me a Carabao Cup 2 months ago. And what did I just say, Ivorian? I pushed 95% of them off a cliff.
Yep.
And they just delivered a Carabao Cup to me because they're not good enough. They're no longer they're not of the standard required. There's 5 I would keep. Exclude Malacia in that as well, because I don't throw him in with these. But I'm talking about the majority that have been here for a long period of time. Like, that's who I'm talking about. Not good enough, Bruno, because we won more games. We were awful before him and we were awful with him. Then we finished 2nd. We were awful. We finished 2nd. Was it
under Ollie?
When we was like 25 points behind Manchester, 25 points behind Manchester City.
Yeah.
I'm saying. On social media, Bruno's arguably our most hated player. Social media is not all of football, my guy. Manchester United are a worldwide fan base. And why he gets hate on social media is because of fans like you. You defend him non-stop. That's why. 18 points. Yeah, 18 points. Thank you, Stephanie G. Much appreciated. And we'll say, oh, well, he helped us because we won more games. He elevated us, so I defend him. Okay. Ollie elevated us. So do you defend him still? Because we finished what? 6th the season before Ollie? And then 7th and then 2nd with him? Whatever, man. Nonsense. Is the summer about just strengthening or rebuilding? Who's the core of this team? You may have covered this, but I joined late. True Blue, both. Personally. Both. I've already said I want a new goalkeeper. I want 2 new fullbacks. This is first team, like first 11. Upgrade on Ericsson, a new number 10, and a striker. And then never mind squad. You know what I'm saying? I want backup centre-back. I want 2 other midfielders on top of that. And then we're good. Diallo will come back and he'll compete with Anthony for right-hand side. Like, that's where it is. Like I said, I don't sell it, you know what I'm saying? I don't do all this thing. I don't focus on players like Sancho. I just focus on all the players who are not good enough. Joe, don't bring social media here. Because I don't put social media on you. I've told you, I've responded to directly what you've said. Don't put social media on Ivorian or myself. Don't do that. Take what I've said. And if you respond back to something I've said personally, cool. If you respond back to something that that Ivorian said, cool. Like, that's what it is. But is Bruno good enough? No. And elevated us. Elevated us. Oh, what? What? It elevated us to nothing. See, no answer, people. Nonsense. Oh, well, we won more games with him, so that means he's good then. We've won more games with Weghorst this season. Does that mean we should keep Weghorst Ivorian? Have we not won more games with Weghorst and the so we should keep him?
No,
because we finished 7th last season. So if we finish 4th with him, we should keep him, yeah?
According
if we finish 5th, yeah?
According to Joe's philosophy and logic.
According to that logic. Weghorst helped us. You know what I'm saying? Weghorst has played. You know what I'm saying? He's played matches. He's helped us. Nonsense. I'm saying, I'm here saying upgrade on Eriksen. Eriksen's helped us massively. Eriksen has helped us and actually contributed to us winning something. And I'm here saying, yes, upgrade on him in the summer. I say, people, these player stands is ridiculous. Bruno's just not good. Somebody tell me in the chat to anybody, this just ain't at Joe. What does he excel at on a football? And when I say excel on a scale of 0 to 10, what is he 8 out of 10 or better at? Someone let me know. I'm saying. Yeah, he elevated us to shit, Joe. That's the point I'm making. Yeah, he elevated by definition, and he elevated us to shit. We went from shit to less shit. I don't praise that. We went from 6th to 2nd. So we went from the 5th worst to the so we went from the 5th worst to the 1st worst. No, 2nd worst, sorry. I don't celebrate runners up. So you can celebrate elevation from shit to shit. I don't celebrate going from a 2 to a 6. If you want to do that, cool. That's your mentality. That's cool. I don't deal with that. Win me trophies. But again, to the chat, this just ain't at Joe. This is everybody. On the football, what does Bruno Fernandes excel at on a scale of 0 to 10? Somebody name me the attributes.
I just want to tell you the
attributes.
That's it. It's just
yeah, and that's not even an attribute on the ball. That's passive. You know what I'm saying?
Because I had the same conversation with my boy who just sounds just like Joe. I'm probably thinking that's my boy in disguise, you know, because I asked him, let's have a debate. Let's have a conversation about Bruno Fernandes. Tell me what's good about Bruno Fernandes. Don't tell me his goals.
He says we were not shit. We were decent. Shit is 1920. We were shit on the Ollie. We were shit.
We were shit on the Ollie, bro.
We were shit on the Ollie. That's why he got sacked and can't get a job. But again, you probably like Ollie. But we move.
Yeah. Now I understand where Joe is really coming from. You know, from when he's rating Ollie.
Ollie's reign. Yeah, we were decent on the Ollie. No, we were shit. Just because we finished 2nd, don't mean we were good. We were shit. We were shit. Total.
Absolutely pants, bro. Ollie can't get a job.
Absolute
like,
garbage. We were trash.
We got a man that came out of retirement, got a job before Ollie. Like, you feel
trash.
Me? Yeah.
Again, notice nobody's answered the question either about So yeah, back to the elevation as well. He's not elevated us to anything good. That's what I should have added. He's not elevated us to anything good or anything great or anything of note. Nobody's going.
Did we lose Flawless, guys? Guys, can you confirm if we lost Flawless? Because he just froze there. But anyway, guys, as I was saying earlier on, I don't know if we've lost him. Guys, let me know comments. Let me know if we've actually lost Flawless, please. Look at that. Super chat. The guy disappears as soon as we get a super chat as well, you know. And I have to read it. You get me? Yep. Flawless lost, yes. Big up Ruslan as well. Big up for the $5 as well. Unpopular opinion here, but Bruno Rashford combination in Man United is in a nutshell. It's one of the dimensional that makes you predictable. Absolutely true, because right now Rashford's the one that's scoring all the goals. But let me go back to what I was trying to say about Joe. Joe reminds me of my friend, because I had that conversation with my friend. I was like, bro, if tell me what's good about Bruno. What makes Bruno good? Don't tell me goals and assists. Give me the characteristics of Bruno. What you like about him as a footballer, you know? What's so good about him? Name his skill sets that you identify, that you can explain to me that's so good about Bruno Fernandes. The guy couldn't give me nothing but goals and assists. Goals and assists. He couldn't even address my question. I had to just say, no, stop changing the conversation. Stop trying to change the topic, because that's what Joe's doing right there. He's deflecting, going to Jaden Sancho this, Jaden Sancho that. We're not talking about Jaden Sancho. We want to know what you're fascinated over. What makes you hard for Bruno Fernandes? What excites you about Bruno Fernandes? Tell me, list me his footballing qualities that you like about him. Oh, is he a good dribbler? I'll give you an example. He's a good dribbler. Oh, he's got an astounding flair. Like the guy's got impeccable vision. You know, list me footballing qualities that you like about Bruno Fernandes, except goals and assists. Oh, don't give me he's a better leader. You know, I don't want to hear that. I want footballing abilities. Big up to everyone as well that says it's an Ivorian takeover. You get me? Ivorian takeovers all here. Big up to everyone that's on Sarcasm City. You know, you continue to smash that like button as well. Subscribe if you're new as well. And as well, if you want to subscribe to Red United TV, you can. But yes, Flawless will be back soon. His internet is moving like Bruno Fernandes. Inconsistent today. You know, that same performance that Bruno gave us at Newcastle. Flawless's internet's behaving the same. He must have. Joe, did you do something to Flawless's internet for some reason? Ever since you've come, Flawless can't get a word in. He keeps disconnected. Yes. But yes, as I was saying, big up to Starlord as well. His intensity is good. His work rate is good. His final pass is good. See, Starlord can come to me and tell me some good qualities about Bruno Fernandes. And I'm hoping, Starlord, that is about Bruno Fernandes. His intensity is good. He's press resistant at times, which is true. And I'm hoping Flawless hasn't I think Flawless has messaged me. I don't know. No, he hasn't. Let's keep going because it's obviously it's Ivorian Spice. You get me? Big up Cyan that says big up Flawless on the panel. Cyan as well from Jamaica as well. Stephanie says 171 appearances, 60 goals, 1 in 3 games, same as Rashi. Again, I would not begrudge Bruno Fernandes of his GAs. It's amazing, it's exceptional. But we it's about what you do on the pitch, and what you do on the pitch is not good enough for me. Don Dada said Ivorians, they are incapable of having an intellectual debate, nonsense at all. Which I said, my friend couldn't tell me what's good about Bruno Fernandes. He couldn't. Joe R says he did. He sabotaged Flawless's internet. Sorry if I pronounced it right or wrong. I'm not too sure, man. Mugara AFC says Virgin Media is blocked for everyone. Ask Flawless if that's what his Wi-Fi is on. Makes sense. Don Dada says Top Reds. It says it's Mugiwara says it's literally breaking for the whole of UK right now if you've got Virgin Media. See, Joe R's back again, says I don't think Bruno is world class or De Bruyne level, but he definitely has done more than Sancho. That's what was my point. Flawless agreed he's done more than Sancho, so that's it. Yes, Flawless agreed he's done more than Sancho. I acknowledge that the way I acknowledge Roman Reigns as my tribal chief, that Bruno has done way more than Sancho. Yes, he's come here. He's become our savior. We were shit before Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, and he did at some point elevate Manchester United and made things a bit better and put a smile on our face. But again, we go back to the performances that we've seen for the last 3 seasons. And I'll say the last 2 years as well. Last season wasn't Bruno's best season. It was a poor season for him. It was box standard. This season, we're seeing a different Bruno. We're seeing a Bruno that probably gets involved in more of the game. I think Joe R can probably agree with me since he lost Bruno Fernandes. But still, we're still seeing the inconsistencies from Bruno in terms of giving the ball away. We're still seeing that. It's not disappearing. The guy gives the ball away like he's giving money to charity. You get me? And I don't like that, you know. This is Manchester United. You keep the ball all the time. All the time. You don't give it away to anyone. We don't give money to charity. We're Manchester United. We don't give the ball away just like that to anybody. We keep the ball and retain possession. And that's what he ain't doing right now. Big up to everyone that's shooting as well, man. Kings as well says Bruno's final pass isn't good because his passing accuracy is always under 70% per game. Fred finishes higher. You see that as well. Bruno's passing accuracy isn't the best according to Kings as well. Don Dada says this is a lie, Joey. You were in the stands. Okay, cool. T Gay says I like Bruno, but when he's poor, it's so aggravating and frustrating to watch. And I will bring back to it. When Bruno is poor, the whole team is poor. When Bruno is good, the team is better. But majority of the times, Bruno is not always good. And our midfielders always getting attacked. And we're always losing possession as well. And we've seen this so many times. And I'm tired. Guys, I will always say this before. and I always say this again, and I'll keep repeating it. I'm not saying Bruno out. I'm just saying we need a better number 10. We can put Bruno on the bench or play him whatever he wants to play in that pitch, but we need a better orchestrator, you know. Being a number 10, you are the playmaker. You make things happen, you know. You're the commander of the ship. You are the captain of the ship, you know. You'd be like, hey, look at me. I'm the captain of the ship. If I say up, you go up. If I say look down, you go look down. And that's what Bruno needs to be, the captain of the ship, or what he's trying to be. I don't know, man. But I'm tired of it. And I hope that Bruno can probably improve himself. And I'll always pray that players can improve themselves before they have to get sold. I'm not off Bruno completely, but I'm not convinced that Manchester United can win major silverware honors with that guy leading Manchester United as number 10. Big up to everyone. Let's go back to the chat as well. During Plays Football says, I see the Mason Mount linked to United. Mason and Bruno would be so chaotic, which is true. People say Bruno Fernandes is the English Mason Mount. Or that's true, you guys let me know. As well, Joe says, honestly, I'll put Bruno CF if Martial gets injured again. Martial's always getting injured. And Kaneki says, Bruno's final pass, really? Pogba had a final third pass succession of 89%, while Bruno is 71% with 150 more passes than Pogba. And I just highlighted that chat. Flawless is back, you know. He's back. The inconsistent internet that he has, Bruno Fernandes like.
Facts,
Bruno
man.
Fernandes
I'm on my phone.
You get me? Now he's on his phone. I'm hearing
on my
that.
phone.
If the guys in the chat said that Virgin internet broadband has been acting up. So I don't know if
is that what
Virgin.
it is? That's what I'm on. I'm on Virgin. Yeah. Big up the chat. That's what it is.
Worldwide as well. See, guys.
Virgin having problems. Okay.
Let me speaking Joe's out there pulling your internet out the time.
I would too. What I'm saying. Hey, but if I stream like this, everyone would complain I'm saying I'm inconsistent. But Bruno puts in these performances and he should be defended. You know what I'm saying? Nonsense. I'm on my phone anyway, people. I'm on my phone. See, why is I won't charge my phone so for cars because my battery's dead, but I've got it plugged in. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Hey, Joe who says my boy Bruno sent a hit. Nah, we've seen Bruno shoot. If he would have sent a hit, he would have missed. You know what I'm saying? He would have missed. Big up for holding it down. But people are saying, what's it called down? Virgin. Yeah, Virgin are having issues. All right, so we know what time it is then. Because I'm on Virgin. Yeah. I'm on Virgin. Shit, I didn't even charge my phone. My battery about to go in it, so I'll have to cut. Talk on because this will probably cut out. For cut out is what it is. We spoke on Bruno.
Yes.
De Gea. What's your thoughts on De Gea, fam?
Yeah. Oh, David De Gea is a different topic and a different story because we know he's quite awful with distributing the ball from out, and you guys saw that as well. You've seen a couple of highlights as well, and a couple of times where De Gea's given the ball away to the wrong player, and we've been on the cush because of David De Gea. Looking at next season, because guys, we've got a lot of problems. Houston, we have a problem. We have a lot of problems as well, guys. And that's just not David De Gea. Like, we need to address other stuff before we get to David De Gea. But I'm all up for if we need to buy a new goalkeeper, because I'm definitely not having Dean Henderson come back. That guy's been relegated twice. And he thinks he's the shit. I'm not having him come back. It's all right. But yes, with David De Gea, I can give him the blight for one more season. But on the other hand, yes, you're back. You get me? On the other hand, I can accept him being so. But the question is then, who replaces David De Gea if we was to sell him?
Back in 1 sec. Hold it down.
Yeah, you guys let me know, who do you want to see replace David De Gea? Do you want Diogo Costa, the Portuguese goalkeeper? Do you want the goalkeeper that just mishandled the ball for Dortmund against Bayern Munich? Because it's all about who. Do you want Meslier, who has been at least doing wonderfully well? Do you want as well the Brighton goalkeeper as well? He's been doing good, because that's what it is. Who will replace David De Gea? Because we can have David De Gea for another season while we fix maybe our defense, while we fix the midfield, while we fix the get a new striker, because there's a lot of areas we can fix first before we get to David De Gea. So you guys let me know. Said anybody can replace him. Well, Brian, you're harsh, man. Give me names. Give me somebody, because I'm up for it. If you want to get rid of David De Gea or sell or bring in another number one and make David De Gea occupy the number two, because the guy needs a pay cut anyway. 350k, yeah, you don't really deserve it anymore. Diogo Costa, he says, is the right man to get. I signed him on my football manager, so I know what you're talking about, bro. And you replaced David De Gea within a season when it came to me. But yeah, man, with David De Gea, I'm a bit 50-50 flawless because, you know, I think it's a sentiment thing, you know, for what he's done for us. And he went through all the garbage, you know. He went through the same shit we went through, you know. He's a Manchester United fan like us, you know. He represents Manchester United, and he hasn't had his best time at Manchester United post Fergie. And he came here believing that he'd be winning trophies, winning the Champions League, winning a lot. And we haven't given that to him. He won some Premier Leagues. He won a Prem, which is good for him. But he never got to reap the reward. And he's been going through all this bullshit. And he could have left us a long time ago and probably won 3 or 4 Champions League with Real Madrid. But he's decided to stay because the fax machine went wrong. I don't know if that's true, but you know what it was. But it's a sentiment thing for me. But I can understand, and I'll put my hands up and say, okay, sell him. Just like the way you said, if I was to say, oh, you sell Anthony, you'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm not going to dispute it.
Yeah,
I won't dispute it. I won't dispute it. I say I understand.
I'm not, 100%. I'm not defending no players who are not performing. Perform, and I'll defend you. Simple as that. That's why I don't hear the Bruno thing and David De Gea. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Actually, not finished. Sorry, my bad, fam. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so I won't dispute it at all, man. And I just think if we was to bring someone in, I'm not too sure who we can bring in, because I'm only looking at the best goalkeepers in the world. You know, no one here goes on YouTube and tells me, oh, look, you need to check this goalkeeper out. Got some sick comps. No one does that. No one does that here. No one. But we've got people that are saying Diogo Costa, cool. Melia is a good option as well. I like the Leeds goalkeeper, and I like the Brighton goalkeeper, and I also like Atletico Madrid, Young Oblak, but that's a dream signing. So I just don't know who can replace David De Gea, who's good on the ball, who can do exactly what Ten Hag wants, which is to be great on the ball, to distribute from the back as well, and as well be a great shot stopper. Not every keeper has all those qualities rolled into one. So we shall see, man. I'm all up for David De Gea staying, and I'm all up for David De Gea getting replaced, but still on the team. Because I don't see him as us selling him. I can't see that happen. And that's the second super chat, my G.
Was that second? Did I miss?
That's the second one. I read the. No, don't worry. I got you. I read the first one.
See,
so it's all right.
Ivory and a bad teammate and freaking Bruno. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me. Up. Bro, you get me. Messi's you in the open. I'm like, I'll pass you the ball, bro. Tap it in.
I'm back to you up. You're a real one. Apologies, like I said, for those that have Virgin. I'm on Virgin. My shit's playing up, so that's legit what it is. Ruslan, big up for the super chat. We're gonna get back to the hair. Don't worry about that. As dangerous as Rashford is, United need a winger with an all-round game similar to Vinicius Jr. and Benzema type number 9 that gives you control. Do we need? It depends on what Ten Hag's trying to play. Can Rashford be successful because of the attributes he has? Yes. We need to improve around him. You say a Benzema type number 9. They don't exist, my G. I've said it before. I'll say this again.
There's only one.
Behind, and this is something I need to have more of a thought process about, but behind Brazilian Ronaldo, Benzema is the best striker I've ever seen. So to go and get, this is just my personal opinion. So to go and get a Benzema type number 9 is pretty much impossible. That's like saying this girl's your soulmate. She's gone. Go get another soulmate. It's not going to happen. So, but I get what you're saying. We do need a number 9. I would take Benz. I'm hearing he's on the last year of his deal. If Benzema doesn't sign at Madrid, I would go get Benz, not just Benz. By the time Benz, and I've already said this, I go get Ivan Toney and I go get Karim Benzema. And then I would sign Venkos and I would have those 3. That would be my free. 110%. So yeah, Ruslan, big up for the super chat. What did you say about the first one as well? I do want to get to that. Let me see.
Whoa, the first one, I think it was highlighting Rashford, but yes, this I got it. There's an unpopular opinion here, but Bruno and Rashford combination in Manchester United, in a nutshell, is one dimension that makes you predictable. That's what he said in the first super chat. And Rusliff, that's his second super chat that he sent.
Yeah, Ruslan, big up for both super chats. Apologies, I couldn't get to your first one and put that on the screen, but I appreciate it. Much appreciate all the super chats. And anyone who super chats, I'll always get straight to it during the show as well. Yeah, man, it's the hottest of hot takes, but I think it is. I don't think there's another striker that has done what he's done over the length of time. This guy's been on a streak forever. People will say, oh, Suarez in that Liverpool side couldn't get them to a Carabao Cup. Look at that Real Madrid side that won the Champions League. Is anyone going to tell me that's a good side? Take out Vinicius Jr., Modric, cold, Casemiro, cold. Who else? Valverde, cool. It's Rodrigo, Carvajal. Nobody was talking about them as favorites for that competition last season. Nobody. Right, but that's just me. But that's a whole different conversation. Yeah, back to De Gea. I got strong thoughts on De Gea like I do Bruno and like I do Sancho.
It's your turn though to shine on De Gea, man. Let me know.
With De Gea, absolutely fantastic servant to the club. Actually elevated us to good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Actually contributed massively to Manchester United winning the Premier League. He's won a Europa League, I believe. He's won an FA Cup. He's won a League Cup. So he's won everything here by the Champions League and played his part. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Not disputing that whatsoever. But yo, it's time to move on, man. It's time to move on. Simple as that. Time to move on. Rio Ferdinand did an interview on his Channel 5. And they had, I believe, who's the Newcastle player? It was a Newcastle player. It might have been Jacob Murphy. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. He said verbatim, well, not verbatim, but I'm paraphrasing, sorry. He said on the podcast itself, yeah, when De Gea had the ball, we was like, we can get out of Manchester United. Basically saying he's a trigger press with him playing out from the back. This is from Ed. I'll talk about it on the Q&A. This is from the game on Sunday. He's done that podcast the next day, and he's identifying and saying Newcastle identified that David De Gea distributing the ball with his feet was a problem. What does that tell you? Because if that's McTominay and he sits on that podcast and goes, yeah, McTominay was a trigger press for Newcastle, that's blown up because it's easy to jump on McTominay because we all know he's not good enough. De Gea's not good enough, man. Gotta go. Not good enough. Simple as that. Not good enough. This is another thing somebody mentioned. When De Gea had the ball at his feet, the Newcastle fans were cheering because they knew. Again, and back to the original point, shout out to my brother Tox, who spelled it out crystal clear for me. And he said, outside of shot stopping, what does David De Gea excel at? And I went, yeah, you got a point. So I asked the chat, this is to everyone in the chat, anyone who's defended David De Gea, outside of shot stopping, which he is exceptional at, 12 out of 10, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. On a scale of 0 to 10, what other goalkeeping attributes is he 8 out of 10 or better at? Because here's the thing, we wouldn't accept that, or I can't even say you lot. I wouldn't accept that from any outfield player. I wouldn't accept any outfield player who's starting in Manchester United's lineup, who's solely, what's it called? Who's solely good at one thing. So someone tell me, yeah, that's true. Shot stopping is all he has, but he's elite at it. That's not good enough for me because I wouldn't have a striker who just scored goals, or a central midfielder who could just run, or a winger who could only cross, or a left back who can only tackle, or a defender, a centre back who's only good with the ball at his feet, or a centre back who's only good in the air. You have to have multiple things.
That sounds like a lot of Manchester United players that you mentioned, you know.
Different conversation. You know what I'm saying? Different conversation than that. Yeah, Ed, that's why I said that, what's it called? I was paraphrasing what Jacob Murphy said. But to the point is he made out, long story short, that he has a weakness, and he is. So he only excels at shot stopping. Why are we keeping him? Because if we had a striker who only scored goals, I wouldn't want him in the team. Some of you lot would, but you know, that guy's now applying his trade in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. That's a whole different conversation.
Sunday league football.
Yeah. So that's a whole different conversation. De Gea is not good enough. Simple as that. He excels at nothing else. He specializes in nothing else. And we wouldn't accept that. Or actually, I can't keep saying that. I wouldn't accept that anywhere else. And you lot wouldn't either. The only reason you lot accept it because he's exceptional at shot stopping. He's arguably the best shot stopper in the country. Arguably, not saying he is, arguably. Some of the saves he pulls out, world class. That Fulham game, a couple games ago, the save from Mitrovic, the shot from Willian, even in the Newcastle game, the double save from Willock, The one he pushed on the bar. I can't remember who the Newcastle game is. A new goalkeeper is going to be looked at, but we don't want to end up with a guy that can't save shots just because he can pass. No, that's why you go and get both, Joe. So we just stick with De Gea till the end of time because we're scared to move on. What kind of nonsense is that? That makes no sense. We move on. We've lost better goalkeepers than David De Gea. We lost 2 goalkeepers who are better than David De Gea. We lost Peter Schmeichel. We lost Van der Sar. So we'll be fine after David De Gea. Manchester United will live on after David De Gea. We will find a successful goalkeeper after David De Gea. Or we just going to keep him until he's 65. We're going to keep him until he's 70, 80 years old. Or because there's no other goalkeepers out there. Like, that's legit what it is. Like, we need to go and locate a new goalkeeper. This is on Ten Hag. This is on the recruitment staff. This is on the scouts. Do I personally know a goalkeeper out there? No, because I only really watch the Premier League in full to make a fair assessment. And there's no goalkeeper in the Premier League currently that stands out to me where I'm like, yes, go and get him. Same way I want a new right back, but there's no right backs. Central midfielders, I can name a bunch. But it's not my job to know. You know whose job it is? The people who are paid extremely well. Who are paid thousands upon thousands a year to scout. If you are paid at the top, you are in the top percentage of payment and salary in terms of your job. If your salary is in the top 5%, you should be doing a top 5% job. Because I guarantee, if you give me and Ivorian them resources and was like, we need a goalkeeper who does this, this, and this, go to this country, this continent, this continent, this continent, we'd come back with a list. And myself and Ivorian are not qualified to do that job. So if unqualified people can do that job, we can do that job. Jez, who's in the chat. Jez, you know what I'm saying? A German African done, my bro. You know what I'm saying? My young G, who lives in Leicester, names all the time of players. And he's in Leicester, chilling, a uni student. He was telling me about Hodgland. He tweeted about him I think it was 6 months ago, last year, that everyone's talking about now. There's so many times this happens where Jez will mention players, and then whether it's the week after, a month after, Jez will be like, yeah, that's such and such I was telling you about. So if Jez can do it, shout out to that's my young G, Jez. Why can scouts who are paid extremely well to do it not? Go locate me a goalkeeper. Of course you can. Go locate me a goalkeeper. And we need a sweeper keeper. Do we need a goalkeeper who can save shots? Absolutely. Go get me an Alisson. If Liverpool can find an Alisson level goalkeeper, why can we not find an Alisson level goalkeeper? They did it. We can do it. So this nonsense that it's not out there. Alisson was unknown at one point.
Yeah.
When Liverpool signed Alisson, no one was saying, "Yo, he's one of the best goalkeepers in Europe." Would you agree, Ivorian? That's fair to say Alisson's one of the best.
I didn't know. I'll be very honest with you. I did not know who Alisson was until they signed him for 75 million. Then you're like, whoa.
Who's this? You know what I'm saying? Who's this? Now, would you agree that Alisson is one of the best goalkeepers in Europe?
Absolutely.
Okay, but when Liverpool signed him, he was unknown. So go find me an Alisson. There's hundreds of thousands of goalkeepers playing football in the world of professional sport all across the globe. You have worldwide to go in and find a goalkeeper. Worldwide. And you have the resources to do it. See, he played for Roma. He did not.
Yeah, he did.
To you, Migiwara, I don't even know where they bought him from.
They bought him from Roma.
Was it Roma? I don't even know that. Nobody wasn't talking him up. Not a single soul did I ever see mention and go, yeah, Alisson, this goalkeeper's fire. Go get him cold. And then Liverpool signed him, and now he's one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. Go find me one. Simple as that. That's my thoughts on it. So yeah, I'm not hearing this nonsense that we can't find a new goalkeeper. Yeah, is it tough? Yes. But everything involving Manchester United is tough. Everything. That's why we're Manchester United, and we are the biggest club in the country, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and one of the most successful in the world. Because it's extremely tough. Yeah, De Gea just can't do it. Before we continue, because we got so much to talk about, it seems my Wi-Fi is back. You know what I'm saying? 5 likes short of 100. So let's bump up the likes. People. Share across all the socials still. Subscribe. You lot have been hitting the subscriber mark. We hit the first one. We're at 6,184. Let me refresh this. We're now at 6,185. We're looking for 5 new subs before we close out. But we want to get to it. You want to talk about it. Luke Shaw's new contract.
Wow. I'm shocked, because I sometimes feel like we reward failures. Yeah. And I don't know if I'm being harsh, guys, because Luke Shaw has been here for what? I think 8 seasons or 8 years. I don't know.
8-9 years, something like that.
8-9 years, and we've seen the best of him for what? Collectively, the best of him for, I would say, to the span of what, 2 seasons, because he was okay for Oli at, like, for 6 months. He did well in the Euros as well, and all of a sudden he's picked up a good form for Ten Hag in the last couple of months. So altogether, to me, he's been good for 2 seasons out of 8. Probably hasn't even got more than 10 assists to his name. And the fact that we're giving him a new contract is just, I'm just baffled, man. Because I was thinking maybe he warrants the activation to add an additional year, trigger that clause. But for Luke Shaw to get 4 years, from what I'm hearing, it hasn't been signed yet. I mean, well, it hasn't been confirmed, but I'm hearing from Fabrizio Romano that the paperwork has been signed, etc. So they're due to announce it formally, but I don't like it, because I still think that Luke Shaw is not good enough, in my opinion. You know how I feel about Luke Shaw. I've called him half-hearted on several occasions, injury prone and etc. Not good enough as well, sometime-ish, inconsistent. He's like Bruno Fernandes himself, man. He's been inconsistent for a very long time, I just don't think he deserves a new contract, man. But based on his recent performances, maybe it warrants it. Maybe because I personally don't like him, and I probably might have an agenda towards Luke Shaw, and I just don't know it.
You don't have a Luke Shaw agenda. Everything you said is facts.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you said is facts. It's not an agenda. I'm saying that much. Go on, carry him.
I honestly thought Ten Hag would assess this, and I'm surprised that Manchester United are offering new contracts out. Anyone that deserves a contract right now is probably Mark Rashford, but we shouldn't be considering contract renewals until we get new ownership and we know the direction that we're going into, because it scares me. It makes me think maybe we're not going to get a new left back, because you said you want 2 new fullbacks, 1 new left back, 1 new right back. I reckon.
We did get linked with Frimpong, though. We did get linked with Frimpong.
We've been linked with Frimpong, yeah.
I do,
but he plays right back.
Yeah. That's a good start. I think I want 2, but we move. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so it kind of scares me. Are we satisfied with just having Malacia and Luke Shaw? Because I'm not satisfied with Luke Shaw playing left back for Manchester United, because I just don't genuinely believe he's good enough. I feel like he's regressed throughout the whole season. And yes, big up to the guys in the chat that said that injury has played a tone to his lack of development. It has. It's facts. Yes, it is. And Manchester United need to let that go. Luke Shaw, I'm just surprised, man. I don't like that he's getting a new contract. I would have accepted the 1-year extension and to see whether he can step it up next season again and monitor it. But I just don't think Manchester United have made the right decision. They should have monitored him for a further season and tell him, "Yo, next season is your last season. If you don't give us a full season of consistency, we want to see at least a minimum of 5 assists, a couple of crosses," because Luke Shaw, as good as he is, don't contribute too much to the team attack. I'll be honest with you. He's good defensively, but he's not contributing more. He's not overlapping as much as I expect him to be overlapping. He's not whipping as much crosses as I expect a fullback to be doing, because that's a fullback's job, guys. You guys forget that we come from an era of G Neville where he was spamming crosses in, and not all the best crosses, but he was doing his job, defending well, going up and down, being available, making himself available for David Beckham to whip in those crosses. And Luke Shaw doesn't do that. I'm sorry. As much as he takes the set pieces, he doesn't do that for us, man. I'm not happy about it. I'll be honest with you. When I saw the news, I wasn't happy. You got a super chat, by the way. Again, big up my guy, man.
Big up Ruslan, man. I see you. I'm saying, even though you're an Arsenal fan, I appreciate the super chat, man. Much appreciated, people. Much appreciated. Big up to Ivorian as well for holding this down while Virgin seeing media wanted to mess man up. You know what I'm saying? But we move. AC, big up again for the super chat. AC Milan's Mike Mignon can do both shot stopping and excellent with the ball at his feet. He's your guy. Big up the panel. Great show as always. Love Ruslan. His name consistently pops up.
Yeah, he's
good. I was so looking forward to watching him in the World Cup, and then he got injured. But even shout out to Snoop, who's an AC Milan fan. Last year, like the start of last season, he was waxing lyrical about Mike Mignon. I hear nothing but good things from everybody who talks about this guy. But I'm not gonna lie, people. I've just not watched it. So I don't watch Serie A, and he's been injured. I'm not really trying to watch AC Milan as much as I'm a fan of Leao, and I want to see Mike Mignon. So I can't say it, but people keep saying, "Are you with the Mike Mignon thing?"
I like him. He's good as well. He's good, but again, I let the professionals do their job because, like you said, Flawless, we have the best scouts in the world, and they should be able to do that job for us and let us know who's better out of Melier, Mignon, and etc. I let them do that, man, because I said it before. I don't go on YouTube to look at video comps of goalkeepers.
Yeah. Forget the comps.
No one of us do that.
Lifetime. The thing is, I'm not really trying to watch AC Milan. However, who they got in the champs? Is it Napoli?
Napoli, their own Italian friends in Napoli versus AC. So we'll see that.
Is he playing? Let me know in the chat. Is he fit, people? Is he back fit?
He's fit. He's back fit. He was in the international break. He played for France. He returned and played for France as well. So we shall see him in Milan jersey goalkeeping, man. And you see people like that telling me that Luke Shaw's been great for 2 years. I mean, it's not just about the 2 years. It's been 8 years since he's been here, and we've only seen 2 years of the best of him. And that's the problem. You know, you've been here for a long time, and we've only seen the best of you for 2 years. That means you haven't been good. That means that whole transfer, your whole career at Manchester United haven't been good enough, man. Yeah. So yeah, man, I can't accept that, man. 2 years is not good, man. We spent money on you. You was the most expensive teenager in football. We spent money on you, you know, and you haven't. People can have a go at, let's say, people have a go at Sancho, for what he's done for the past 2 years, but don't get at Luke Shaw for what he's done for the past 8 years. How does that make sense? You know, Luke Shaw has been awful for 6 out of the 8 years, but yet you're letting him be, and you'll accept that. Nah, man. Nah.
I hear you, fam. I hear you. With Luke Shaw, I got to the contract extension first. I'm hoping it's one of two things. This is just me hoping, because let me just get it straight. I'm done with him being our first choice left back. Has he played well for the most part of this season? Yes. Has he impressed me this season? Yes. But 2 good seasons out of 9, 8, 9, or 10, it's not good enough. He's not good enough. Simple as that. He's really not. But yeah, like I said, 2 things I'm looking at with his contract. One, I'm hoping it's either we just sign into a new contract to try and sell him in the summer. I'm hoping it's that. Or secondly, we sign him to a new contract to then sign a left back and have Luke Shaw be backup left-sided centre back. Because one thing I will say is I like Luke Shaw at centre back. I think he's a better centre back than he is a left back. If he's the backup to Martinez, cool. Martinez gets injured and Luke Shaw's playing as the left-sided centre back, no problem with it whatsoever. And I can't believe I'm saying that. So I'm hoping it's those 2 things. However, it probably is the latter, that he's being signed and he's going to be our first choice left back. I'm not saying Malacia is better or Malacia should be the guy. I do like Malacia, but he's young. We need to see how good he is. But I would sign a first choice left back. I'd go and get one. And to Ed, who says Flawless 4 or 5 good performances at left-sided centre back doesn't equate to being a regular in that role. That's why I said verbatim, I said backup. He should be a squad player. If he's backup to Martinez, not first choice. No, backup. That's what he should be. So that's how I'm looking at it. But yeah, again, another player I'm done defending because he's not performed well enough. This season he's been better though. This season he has been better. But even the way we're seeing him fall off now, not good enough. No, an athlete. If you're playing wide, if you are playing at fullback, you are playing wide. I mentioned it before when I was talking about Sancho and pace and power. You need to be athletic. When we look at all the best fullbacks, what are they? The vast majority athletic, outside of like a Cancelo. When you look at Alphonso Davies, you look at whoever you think the best fullback is, more than likely he's probably athletic. This is why we see like a Trent struggle at times. This is why you see a Kyle Walker do okay. A Rico Lewis, who's young, go into that City team. He's good technically, but what is he also good? An athlete. Let's improve. Why are we not trying to? I can't even say why we're not trying to improve, because we might sign a left back in the summer, but that should be the levels we're trying to go to. Go get a Frimpong, because I'm just saying Frimpong, what I like about him without watching him is his profile. I know he's quick. I know he's athletic. Just bring me P&P. That's what I want at left back. Give me an athletic pace. And you know who had actually signed for left back? And I only seen him once because of his profile. The youngster from Barcelona. Balde.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen him play against us. I said, who's this?
He was good. Yeah.
I was like, who's this? And then he played us at Old Trafford. I was like, and people were like, I think he's 18, 19. I was like,
Yeah, he is.
Barcelona are broke. Go sign him. You know what I'm saying in that? Why not? Why not? And people say, oh, you can't have an 18 or 19-year-old. Well, why not? If you're old enough, you're good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of good enough, being good is not good enough. And that's what Luke Shaw is at best, decent, good. Good is not good enough. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Because the levels we want to go to, we want to be better than good. You think good teams win the Premier League? You think good teams win the Champions League? No, great teams go and compete and win the Premier League on a regular basis. Same with the Champions League as well. And even if all those sides necessarily in the Champions League that don't win it, there's great players in there. Casemiro is great, world class. Martinez, great. Varane, great. Eriksen, great. Rashford, great. Let's go get great. Let's go get top class. Let's go get world class. Why are we accepting decent? Why are we accepting above average? Why are we accepting good? You know what I'm saying? Why would Barca sell Balde? That would be a dream with Frimpong because they're broke, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Are they not broke?
They're broke. Got issues.
So why not? Are they not? Again, that's just me saying that. So yeah, that's what it is with Shaw. Done with him. Not good enough. Not good enough. Same with Bruno. Not good enough. Same thing. De Gea, not good enough. Sancho, not good enough. Even though there's more sympathy for Sancho, because I think it's just more wrong place, wrong time, wrong league. We're not good enough. We got to move on. This is what I said. Before I push most of these players off a cliff for new players. If I had it in an ideal world, I would change the entire 11 and pretty much the entire bench. If I really had my way, like if it was me. New goalkeeper, new right back, new left back, new central midfielder, new 10, new striker. That's 6 first teamers. It's more than half the team. And then backing that up, new right-sided centre back, 2 more central midfielders. Would I get another number 10? Yeah, because I'd move on. I keep Bruno. So that's, new right-sided centre back, 2 central midfielders, 2 strikers. That's 5. I've just named 11. I'm telling you, I'd bring in 11 players, 6 first teamers and 5 squad players. Highly unlikely. However, with Qatar owners, you could do that. But Ten Hag's going to have a different look at it than me. And he's much more qualified and much more intelligent and has much more knowledge on this than I do. I like it. I never mind players. I said I'd bring in 11 the players I'd sell. De Gea gone. Dalot gone. Maguire gone.
Mm-hmm.
Lindelof gone. McTominay gone. Fred gone. Donny gone. Martial gone. I'm missing anyone. That's 8. Am I missing anyone? Any other players at all? Right, 8. I'm telling you.
You see how you forget Jones, bro? How does that guy get away with it?
Yeah, Jones 9. I'm literally here telling you people. Henderson 10.
Mm-hmm. Henderson gone, bro.
I'm literally telling you people I would bring in 11 players and sell 10. And people want to talk to me and defend this squad. Get all of that. To Eddie, who says Dalot or Wan-Bissaka, I'd get rid of Dalot and keep Wan-Bissaka, but I'd sign a first choice right back. Dalot is in the De Gea bracket when I say what does he excel at. I think Dalot's a good fullback though. I think he's good at a lot of things. I think he's good. Oh yeah, I forgot about Tellez as well. Throw Tellez in the mix. Yes, I'd move on Tellez. That's 11. Bailly, that's 12.
Yep. Oh my God, that's a lot, you know.
Naming players, people. I'm telling you, I would bring in 11 players and sell 12. That's how short we are.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, I might have to release some of them on the free because it's gonna be hard for us. Our problem is it's been offloading our players for a while, and it's gonna continue to be a problem. I think during the whole summer as well for us to get rid of these players because some of these players, no thanks to Ed Woodward because he stupidly handsomely rewarded him. Yeah, Brandon Williams.
Brandon Williams, 13.
Yeah, because Ed Woodward, he's stupidly.
Axel, that's 14.
Thank you. Oh my God, people are out here, you know. Oh shit, that's a lot of players. But as I was saying, Woodward stupidly, handsomely rewarded a lot of these players to make them hard for them to come out to be sold. So we'll see what happens. I know that some of them I would release them, like Phil Jones. I'm gonna release you, Eric Bailly. I will release you out of your contract, mutual agreement if it has to be. Brandon Williams, certain players that you struggle to sell that have no resale value, you would have to take that loss and release them off their contract and said, you know what, we don't need the money, just go, just pack your shit and go, man. Like, because it's gonna be hard, man. Flawless, man. I'll be honest with you. Get rid of some of these players that you just mentioned who are on high wages, and that's about 12, 14 players. It's too much of a job, you know. I'm just hoping that we get the new ownership, because we had problems multitasking by even trying to buy 2 players at the same time. Because we struggled with that. We couldn't do one at a time. So imagine trying to sign players and sell players at the same time. And we're going to have a busy summer. Let's just hope that the people that we bring in can multitask, you know. Yeah. It's going to be hard. But as you were saying, Flawless.
And Nicholas, but on the squad had their time. Phil Jones still there. Martial, I would let go too. Injury prone, need to be ruthless if you want to win. 8-1 the league for time. Nicholas, spot on.
Yep.
Spot on. See, Nicholas, Stephanie G, Emma K, like, I don't know what it is. The female United fans are on point in the chat. They just be on the, like, I be there and they say stuff and I'm like, right, no, you spot on. They make me look at things in a different way. Need to be ruthless. Why are we accepting decent? Why are we accepting good? Above average. You want to accept an above average girl? You want to accept to any of the females? You want to accept an above average partner?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
So why are we here with our football club accepting above average? Decent. Good. Why not special? That's why you say your partner's that special someone.
You can't be Joe R who accepts nonsense, bro.
Oh, this is Bruno's, you know what I'm saying, led us to what?
Yeah. That's the same guy that would accept that. Oh, but she cooks for me though. But she's not treating you right. Well, she cooks for me though. Like, you're saying everything just to accept the bullshit.
Outrageous. Big up 40 Business as well, man. Says, let's go. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Arsenal fan, newly started his content. You'll see him on Big Six Bants. He knows months. He's made his debut over there. So go subscribe to his channel. You know what I'm saying? Go sub to his channel 100%. Go subscribe to his channel, people. 40 Business, you see it there. Someone drop it in the chat, please. Somebody drop his channel in the chat where you can see it in the title right there, people. 40 Business. Have we discussed everything? I know there's a few more things that have started.
We've covered
your final questions in.
Sancho, Bruno, Luke Shaw, the match, the here. That's all the topics that you've mentioned off the top of my head. But we can run off the comments for a bit, though.
Yeah. I was just having a look. I know long show people, but being Ivorian spoke before, we was like, there's so much we already knew. Yes. Oh, yeah, I went to get to this from Rids. You're probably not here, Riddles, who says, can we talk about how problematic Ten Hag was against Newcastle? Somebody tell me what Ten Hag could have done different in that game. Yes. Oh, yeah, Eddie. Adding into Mason Greenwood, sell, let go. Yes. Personally, I'd release him. That's just me. So that's now 15 players I'd get rid of. 15? Yeah. So I said I'll bring in 11 and sell 15, and people won't understand why I'm so harsh, and people don't get it, why I'm so harsh. Yeah, it's crazy, 40 Business. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll get to predictions for the Brentford game. We will. But yeah, somebody let me know like what Ten Hag could have done in terms of the midfield options. All the midfield options are no good. People can talk about his subs. Talk about Ten Hag. Are you worried about his tactics lately? No. He's dealing with what he's got. My question is to you, Brian. What is he supposed to do different? Play attacking football? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't. What's he supposed to do? Play like in the big games away from home? Ten Hag doesn't seem reactive with his subs. What games are we talking about? I just think the team's not that good. But what games are we? Bear in mind, we have the 5th best array record in the league. So if this is Ten Hag performing poorly away from home and we have the 5th best, what happens when he becomes average away from home? Serious. Let's have the conversation, Ivorian. You know what I'm saying? If he's this bad away from home and we have the 5th best record out of 20, what happens when he becomes just average? If he was just mid, we'd have the 3rd best. And bear in mind, I believe we have the 3rd best home league record. Right? We'd probably be in a title race if he was just average. So, and I'm telling you, I'm sat here telling you I get rid of 15 players and bring in 11.
And we know he's working with dog shit at that club, you know. And he just, I said it. Did I say that earlier on? I said Ten Hag's only working what he's got right now, what he can work with. and he's adapting and he's working with what he's got in that midfield. You know, he's not playing the football that he wants to play. He said, you know what, this year I'm gonna have to scrap the plans. You know, try my best with these guys. You know, and so far he's gotten the best out of all these players. You know, again, we've said it before. We are overachieving when we are still overachieving. The guy's got the most wins out of all the managers that's ever came to Manchester United in their first season. He's got 75% win ratio, which is the highest I've ever seen before. So he's doing way better than what Fergie done when he first started. But let's not forget what Fergie had to go through in his first couple of seasons. He was shaping a Manchester United. He's doing way better than that scrub Wally Gunnar Solskjaer's doing, you know, in his first season. You one up on him. He's doing way better in terms of win ratio when Jose Mourinho came as well. So let's hats up to him. We know what he's capable of doing. Just imagine when he gets his team. Just imagine when he starts cooking. To me, he's the chef that's just buying his ingredients slowly. He hasn't started cooking yet. He's still buying. He's buying his ingredients slowly, the seasoning and all that kind of stuff. He hasn't even marinated the chicken yet, or the meat, whatever you favor. You get me? He hasn't started doing that yet. You get me? So once he gets that this summer and he gets all these ingredients, and then he can start cooking. Yep. You get me? He starts chefing now.
100%. Start cooking up a storm. He shouldn't have played McTominay. He's useless. Using him in the 10 was awful. All right, so Chris.
No one else.
No, okay, I agree with you. Don't play McTominay. He is useless. Using it. Give me the midfield you would have played. That's what I want to know. For everyone who's criticizing what he did with the mid, give me the midfield that would have played and then ask yourself, would it have made a difference? So please give me the midfield. Yeah, give me the midfield you would have played against Newcastle, and then ask yourself if it would have made a difference. It's a rhetorical question, but I'll let you lot figure it out. 100%. Why is nobody playing in midfield? There is a huge hole in front of Casemiro, even when he plays. Because our midfielders are not good, Brian. Midfielders are not good. And King says, just because Ten Hag has won a trophy this year doesn't mean the standard should go up. This still isn't his team. Yeah, now we're trying to put unrealistic expectations on him. Like I said, if his away form is so bad, how do we have the 5th best away record? Our away record against the top teams is awful. Don't deny that. But if we have the 5th best, that means, all right, he's got something cooking. Because if we've been this bad away from home against the top sides, that means you're beating everybody else you're supposed to beat. 5th. Ironically, we're 5th right now, but we will finish in the top 4. I thoroughly believe that, and I think we'll finish 3rd. But if we win the Europa League, that doesn't matter regardless anyway. Because to me, top 4 is not a trophy. I don't do Joe. I don't celebrate elevation from shit to shit. Celebrate trophies. I celebrate progression actually on the football pitch as well. And that's 2 things he's done. Ed said it there. Eddie said it there. All of his new signings have been our best players. That should tell you something. That the rest of the players.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie.
That's legit what it is. That's what it is. Arsenal away, we were getting overloaded in midfield and had no impact on the left side. Second half, and he kept waiting to make subs. This is true. And despite these things, we only lost by a last-minute winner.
Yep.
Despite all these, it was the last kick of the game from Eddie Nketiah that cost us. Is he going to make mistakes? Yes. Has he made mistakes? Absolutely. But more often than not, he's got more things right than he's got wrong. Plus, they're a better side than us currently. That's why they're top of the league. Like, they are a better side. I'm saying same with the Etihad as well. He got it wrong. Absolutely, he did. He did get it wrong. I don't criticize. I do criticize him for that. You're not wrong. If we get through these 2 next Europa League ties, I really like our chances. We're definitely on the harder side of the bracket. I don't know too much about the teams facing, but I hear you. I hear you, Eddie. We should win that competition regardless. We should. That's what it is. But yeah, has he made mistakes in big games away from home? Absolutely, he has. But name me a manager that hasn't made mistakes. Better managers with better sides have made mistakes. Before the start of the season, Klopp and Liverpool were talked up as Champions League contenders and Premier League contenders. Their season has fell off a fucking cliff.
Yep.
And everyone would have said at the start of the season, Klopp's a better manager than Ten Hag. Liverpool have a better side than Manchester United. How much has he got wrong? So we're seeing better managers with better squads get things wrong. City are not where they're supposed to be. Their prediction was top of the league. They are falling short in the Premier League. They fell short in the League Cup going out to Southampton. I'm saying Pep switched up the team and got that wrong. Bear in mind, if they get past Southampton, they would have played Newcastle, who they probably beat. And then they play us in the final, who they're favourites to beat. So he's cost them the Carabao Cup. They're not top of the Premier League. Yeah, they're in the Champions League and they're in the FA Cup semi-final. But Pep is a better manager than Ten Hag with better players. He has made mistakes this season. Bear in mind, we're on course already. We've had a better season than both Liverpool and City so far. Could City have a better season than us? Yes, if they pick up the Champions League or the Premier League or both, God forbid. But if City just win the FA Cup, that's a failure. They just win the FA Cup, finish second, and go out of the Champions League. That's a failure for them with their team and their squad. Liverpool season's already been a failure. So I'm using those two and those two managers to make the point is all managers make mistakes. Criticize, yes. I understand Ten Hag's going to make mistakes. And he'll make mistakes next season too and the season after. It's about limiting them. Make very few. And for Ten Hag, he makes very few. He's worth defending. I'll use Joe's point. I'll defend Ten Hag because I've seen genuine progression on a football pitch and he's delivered a trophy. And I expect him to deliver at least one more. And I think we can win the FA Cup. I've been confident of a treble since February. I've been confident of a treble since the turn of the year. I've been talking a treble, not the treble, a treble. We got one, go get the other two. Our City favourites, 100%. Could we go out to Brighton? 100%. Especially if these performances continue. But shout out to my guy, Usman. He tweeted it. Casemiro and Eriksen are supposed to be back next week. Can't wait. If I seen them on the street, I'd hug them both. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, I love you, man. You know when your dons get drunk. I'd be like, yo, I love you, man. You're my guy. I'd hug you. You know what I'm talking about. You've been there. I'll do anything for you, you know. Yeah, you know what time it is. Legit could hug them, man. I'm getting a bit emotional here. I miss them so much. Both of them together. Like, I need you both, not one, both. My guys. You know what I'm saying? Christian and Cass. I would say Casemiro's first name, but I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know him, just know him as Casahero, bro.
Yeah, man,
Came here and saved the day.
I could cry, man. Tears of joy.
Yeah, we've never seen that.
Midfielders come back into my team, man. I could cry. Yeah. Like, that's what it is. And to footy business, yeah, the away, my problem with the away thing is not the results, and you're right, it's the performances. But I understand it's not his team. That's where it is. I understand it's not his team.
I think next season we'll probably cook more away. You know, we'll do much
100%.
more. I definitely know that our manager is a meticulous man. He'll learn from his mistakes next season and the mistakes that he made away in certain games and the team, the way he set up his team in certain games, especially against the smaller side, the lesser sides, like the Newcastles and like Brentford away and all that stuff. He will correct that, man. To me, Erik ten Hag's first season is quite similar to Pep Guardiola's first season. You know, he's very stubborn. He'll go with his way and he'll stick with it. He has his principles, just like Pep has, and he'll make the mistake, and then from there he'll learn. He will learn. Next season he'll get better, and we will be winning more games than we're winning this season. We will dominate more games than the amount of games that we haven't dominated this season, in my opinion. We'll be playing the football as long as we get the players that he wants and install that philosophy. Yeah, man, I'm confident next season. You know, I've never been as confident as I've ever been with any manager. I was never confident when I heard that we was getting Mourinho. I said it from day one. I said, you watch it in 2 to 3 years' time, players will be unhappy. You know, the football you're going to hate. Yeah, we're going to win trophies, but we won't be happy. And guess what? It took place, it took to light. I hated Oli. I didn't know where he came from. I didn't even know he was managing. It was a shock to my system and to everyone else when he became the caretaker. And even when he became permanent, I wasn't happy as well. Like, I wasn't getting drowsed, like thinking this guy's an average, doesn't deserve it. And was never happy for Moyes. Never wanted him. The manager that I've always wanted was Pep Guardiola, Johan Klopp in his prime as well. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I want Ten Hag. He represents the football that I believe Manchester United should be playing, you know. And we got him, and we've got the manager.
Yep,
and total football will come. Like, I'm not worried about next year.
Yeah,
all I'm worried about is the ownership. Now it's all about the
key.
ownership.
Ownership is key, 100%. Win trophies regardless. Like, yeah, that's what it is. Like, as bad as the performances have been, and they're a concern. That's why they're more of a concern than the tactics. People talking about defensive football, I understand why he's playing defensive at times. Look at the team. Where is it yielding results? For the most part, yes. Go win me another trophy. That's what I need. Go win me another trophy. That's all I need. Legit. Go win me another trophy. Kaneki won't even talk about that, but I hear you. Yes, King, this is another great point. Remember, the manager's still in his first season. Never mind the team being in its first season, so is the manager. Let me get to the final few questions. Where was it? Someone said something and was just like, Flawless, hear me out. Bryant said, hear me out, Flawless. Ever since Bruno has been captain, it's been downhill. Ever since Ten Hag was coming up with excuses, he's a bad influence. His mentality can even affect the manager. Ain't Bruno been captain since the start of the season? When did Bruno become captain?
I think after Maguire got dropped, in it. But he's not officially club captain. He's vice captain at the moment. Yeah. But there have been games where Bruno himself has done well as a captain, not as a football player. You know, he's a good captain. He leads his team on. He gets at these players, you know, and we've performed at good times with Bruno being captain and leader. But then there were games where I think Bruno should be stepping up and then leading the team in the right manner, and he hasn't done that at times. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see, man. I don't think it's had a bad influence in the mentality of Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag's only managing who he has right now, and that includes Bruno, in my opinion. So we'll see, man. Next season's a different story. If he decides to pick Bruno as club captain after making some signings, then we know that Bruno is his guy.
Yeah, it's one of them. I think I've always said people put too much stock in the captaincy. If you're a captain, you're a captain. After the first 3 games, he was given an armband. So Brian, I don't really think it's had any effect because we've had a good season. So yeah, I get at Bruno a lot of things, but not like him being a captain. He's just not good enough. Like that's legit what it is. But yeah, I think we've covered everything in a long show. Like I said,
man, we took an hour and a half in that.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Ivorian held it down. We spoke on a lot. Big up to everyone in the chat. Like you lot, because we debated, but you lot kept it respectful. So I respect that. I rate that highly. Always keep it respectful. Here, we can disagree, but always respect myself, respect any of my co-hosts and each other in the chat as well. Bump up the likes. We did go over 100 likes. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're at 6,185. Let me refresh that, but we hit 2 subscriber marks. So big up to you lot. We are going to raid Never a Foul as well because they are live. Big up to Daps and the whole Never a Foul gang. Subscribe to Ivorian's channel. Link is in the title, people. Red United TV. And it'll click the link, open up a new tab. And this show and all the other shows on the channel, apart from watch-alongs, are available on audio-only platforms. So SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV, and then it will pop up because you might want to listen while you're at work, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're driving, or you just might not want to have the YouTube app open. You might prefer to just indulge your podcast content in more traditional podcast memes, and that's absolutely fine. It is. Ivorian, anything you want to add, family?
We're back live again tomorrow. Big up to everyone for watching along. You get me in it. Like, if the guys want something to watch yesterday's podcast that I done on YouTube there now. So back on YouTube doing the podcast. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you lot enjoyed it. Nicholas says show was fire. Thanks. Stephanie G said great show, lads. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, man. You know what I'm saying? It gets heated here because we are passionate about the football club and want what's best for the club. In terms of content tonight, obviously we keep the content rolling here at Sarcasm City TV. So we're live on the Twitch for the Chelsea-Liverpool game, people. So Chelsea-Liverpool watch along live on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Link for the Twitch is underneath in the description. You download the Twitch app, people. You sign up for free. The same way you watch and comment here on the YouTube, it's the exact same on the Twitch. And you get separate content. So you get non-Manchester United Premier League watch-alongs over there. NBA watch-alongs will be over there. Play-ins, playoffs, the NBA podcast over there. Fan calling show I'm going to bring back is also over there. FIFA 23, the pro clubs, that's also over there. Plus Champions League, that's also over there. So there's a lot going on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. So that's 10 minutes before kickoff, 7:50 p.m. I'll go live on the Twitch for the Chelsea-Liverpool game. And then we're back here at midnight for the ManDem United crossover show, ManDem United podcast, Analysis at Anfield podcast, myself and Saint, Manchester United Liverpool show at midnight, people. All those UK times. Check out the upcoming live stream schedule for those. If you enjoyed that show, you enjoyed this show, you'll enjoy that show because it's only like Ivorian, quality co-host. Same with same quality. We only got the best here, people. We have all the best and Ryan people. You know what I'm saying? For those that know, he's our Bruno. But everyone else over here, you see is coach. You know what I'm saying? And that he's our Bruno, he's our McTominay, no, and they're good enough. You know what I'm saying? But we move. But yeah, man, I'm glad you lot have enjoyed the show. I've enjoyed this. Ivorian, let them know like what you've got coming up outside, obviously, tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Outside of today, you got anything coming up tomorrow, the rest of the week?
Yeah. Tomorrow we go again live again for the Manchester United watch long against we play tomorrow again Brentford, and then of course the weekends watch along, and the match reaction obviously gets uploaded 30 minutes after the full time. So make sure you check my match reaction now and let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know who your man of the match was as well, and let me know who your donkey of the match was as well, man, for tomorrow's watch along and match reaction. But it is what it is. And again, guys, remember to follow Red United TV on YouTube and subscribe here as well. And of course, if you want to follow me, you can find me @Ivory_Spice on Twitter or Snapchat, and follow Instagram account, which is Red United TV1. Tomorrow is Manchester United Women's Crush Wednesdays. It's what a lot of these followers live for anyway. They see a pretty woman in the Manchester United jersey. How beautiful is that, Flawless? You know, there's nothing beautiful about a beautiful woman in a United jersey.
Yeah. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Chris, you must have missed the Bruno thing, but we moved. Like I said, he's just not good enough. But Ryan is Cleberson, fam. Yeah, call him Cleberson. That's cool. Big up to Eddie in the chat as well. We're gonna raid Never a Foul, but this has been the ManDem United podcast. We're back Thursday, people. 4:30 p.m. back on Thursday, and then Friday. Eddie, ironically, me and Eddie are on the Friday edition of this show as well. And I'll let Ivorian get to this before we close out. Black Diamond's asking, are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter, Ivorian_Spice. Same for Twitter, same for Instagram. You see there.
So make sure. If you're following me, I always tag Ivorian on the Twitter. So yeah, we're going to raid Never a Foul. So make sure you say hashtag Sarcasm City TV raid when you go over there. Just put Sarcasm City TV raid in the chat when you go over to Never a Foul. But this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.